It's time to get on up with Jam and Renee. And here's your hosts, James Arthur M. and Renee Culver.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. And we are now officially live. Welcome to Backchannel, the only place to listen to, watch, and chat live with the host that you are taking in on whatever viewing device that you are on. You are watching Get On Up with Jam and Renee. I am your morning Jam for the morning, James Arthur M.
Good morning, Jam, and I am Renee Culvert. Get on uppers. Good morning to you. We're so happy to see you. Look at this team, Jam. Would you look at this team? So happy to see them all. Yes.
Well, some of them might be confused. Are they like, is that Nanny McPhee? Or wait, who is it? Who were we?
Yeah, I think it's Nanny McPhee.
Sarah McPhee?
I'm pretty sure. Sure. It might have been Catherine, but Nanny's more accurate. Yeah, that seems right.
Well, Renee, let's take a look and see who is here. I know you were about to do it, and I interrupted for a not great joke. Go ahead.
No, it was
do the
such a great joke.
Call.
It was, and I'll tell you why you made that joke is we just got to hang out with Liv, who is the show right before us. Yes. Was I starstruck? Yeah. A little bit. She's amazing. She's great. That was my first time getting to meet Liv live and in person. Yeah. What a champion.
If you are just joining now, don't forget this is a show right before us. So now you watch Liv, then watch us, and you're great. You're great. Yep.
All of the things. All right, get on uppers. Here you go. Here's our roll call coming at you. Good morning to Gliss, Steve, Amanda, Deborah, Verona, Chandler, Sunny, Bella, Willow, Mick, Kevin, Doug, Madison, Nathan, Jennifer Lopez, and Cole. So happy to have you guys here. This is the best.
Incredibly excited. Now, I have to do a little bit of housekeeping. Get on uppers. Please. I love you. We love you all so much. And we want to make sure that we have the most best, inclusive, safe, fun environment for all and possible. And Doug, this is all coming from out of so much heart. Doug, you know I love you. I love you. I love you like you're my own family. But I do have to say, I don't remember the episode where Renee said that she was your girlfriend. And remember, it's all about consent, buddy. It's all about consent.
There we got it.
I asked you to refrain from calling Renee your girlfriend, unless I missed the episode. I was gone. If I did miss it, and let me know. But I don't think that she said yes. I don't think
wonderful big brother.
And so I think we're all just friends here. Friends here, Doug. So let's keep it on the friend train, huh?
Buds and pals and buds. I tell you what we could do, because you have introduced platonic into the mix. I do think we all could call Backchannel just the screen our platonic boyfriend and girlfriend. We're so happy to have you. This is who I hang out with. These are my teams. All platonically. We love it. Jam, best big brother in town. I love you so much. My sweet, sweet friend. How are you? How's your morning going?
Doing great. Well, I got to kick it off with you and Liv, so that was a great start. And if you all also want to say platonic things into the chat, which we will absolutely read. I don't know, maybe everyone's still so hot and bothered after Bug. No, after Valentine's Day. I think everyone just is like, love is still in the air.
Love is in the air. Love is in the air. We love it. Yeah. We love it.
But if you want to get involved in the conversation, good morning to Audra. Hello.
Audra.
Everyone. Everything's good.
My friend. Hi.
We're just putting all the boundaries out there. As my ex-boyfriend used to dance around, he would go, boundaries. I'm doing the boundaries dance. Boundaries.
It's a perfect way to get through life. It's the best way to get through life, I believe.
Boundaries. Yes. It's my best dance. 100%. It's my best dance. Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. We know, Doug. We know it was just a joke.
Yes, Doug, we get it. We get it. You are the best. But I tell you what,
I'm just being a big brother. That's all. I'm like,
Best big brother in town. But I tell you what, both Doug and Audra are onto something. You can absolutely participate in the show. And the way that you do it is you say, if you're watching on a device, you say to your device, and you can't say it because I got one, and she will chime in, but something that rhymes with Dexter. Say, good morning. I'm so happy to see you.
What did you say? Vanessa?
Yes, Vanessa. Vanessa, say,
what are you saying, Renee?
Good to see you. You know what, Jim, as We did open with Catherine McPhee, so we got to be on Liv, and Liv very lovingly and jokingly was like, "Oh, you look like Catherine McPhee." But I am wondering, Get On Uppers, if you have this, if it is just one feature of somebody that makes you think they look like it. Like I do that all the time. So if someone is wearing puffy sleeves, I'm like, well, that's Catherine McPhee. Or if someone has the same color hair, I'm like, well, obviously that's who that is. Does that happen to you? That if there's just one element of them, well, yeah, I
Oh
can only
yeah,
imagine.
I'm like
Yeah, I
that
really.
person's got eyes. That must be Chris Rock. Look at that Chris Rock over there.
Yeah.
I am curious. I am curious. And Stacy says yes. So you're not losing it, Renee. You're
Yep.
onto something. Stacy says
You
yes.
get it.
But
You
also
get it.
Stacy can't stay long because she's got to go to church, which we love when you are able to stop and say hello to us. And curious, Get On Uppers. Does anybody ever confuse you for some celebrity or something? Do you Get On Uppers first question and enter your device? You can just
Yeah.
say they confuse me with Catherine McPhee or
Yeah.
Nanny McPhee or Susie McPhee. Oh, Audra says Zoe Deschanel because she has bangs. And so you're on to something, Renee. It's because you have
Exactly.
something.
It's just the
Catherine
thing.
McPhee's
Or
probably worn a bang before.
I'm sure that she has. I also think glasses will do it to you. I think height will do it to you. I mean, and there's plenty of other features. Just like, oh man, that now we're topping into people stereotyping territory. But I think it's on an innocent level. It's funny to be like if you're doing a Halloween costume, all you have to do is add a glasses, a shirt, and you're like, well, yep, you look just like that person. Easy.
There it
Makes
is.
it easy. We love it. We love
Easy
it.
peasy. I
Yep.
get confused. People will I call me like Wayne Brady. They
Sure.
used to call me Wayne Brady. So the first thing I'd have to do when I did stand up would be like, no, I'm not Wayne Brady, and make some sort of
Great.
joke about Wayne Brady. So you
Great.
got to just own it. You just got to own it. I did
I
get like
love it.
one time I was in line in college for The Price is Right. Went to The Price is Right. And curious, got on up first. I'm just gonna be asking you all kinds of questions. Whatever comes to my head, I
Mhm.
want to know. Has anybody ever been to a live taping of a show? Sound off. I want to know. Have you been to a live taping of the show? Jason, welcome to the show. First time.
Hi,
Jason's first time
Jason.
here on the show. Good morning. Good
Love to
morning.
see you.
I'd love to see you. Has anybody ever been to a live taping? While I was in line for a live taping, Wayne Brady used to have a show, the
Okay.
Wayne Brady Show, since canceled. But as I was standing in line, it was on the same lot CBS, and he comes walking by as we're in line, and the people behind me were so confused because they thought I was Wayne Brady the entire
Ah,
time. They're like, wait,
that's
what? And I'm like, it's my cousin.
very
It's my
it's
cousin.
just so we're clear. Just so we're clear. I well, listen, you're both very, very handsome gentlemen. Absolutely handsome. I think it is very sweet for the people behind you to think that Wayne Brady has to wait in line to get into his own show. It's funny. That's a funny it's a funny concept.
It's
I
just
also
like
think
us. It's just like us.
that in when done well, when done with good intent, with pure intention, saying, "Hey, I look like," is such a universal identifier of just like, "Hey, let's all get on the same. We all agree I look like this," right? Is such a good way to start stand up because then you got everybody on your side. You're like, "See, we
I
all
was
get
gonna say,
along, and
then
now
they
I'm going to
can't
tell you some
hackle
jokes."
you. They can't
Exactly.
hackle you about it. I will say,
Exactly.
like, I think sometimes, like, white people sometimes will just be like, "Oh, that black." I got Chris Rock's stunt double once. Like, "Oh, you look
I'm
like Chris
sorry.
Rock's stunt double." I'm
Yeah.
like, "You're just saying
Yeah.
black people, at this point,
Fair.
you know?"
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is a fun game. And Get On Uppers, I'd love to hear what doppelganger?
Nope.
Doppelganger.
I like doppelganger. Who's your
Doppelganger.
doppelganger?
Who's your
Use your
doppelganger?
doppelganger.
What
Who's your doppelganger?
what
Who
doppelganger
is
you
it?
get?
Yep.
I
Yep. Yep.
used to always get Holly Hunter, which is the highest compliment. And although, but it's only if I show my forehead. So if my forehead is showing, then I'll get Holly Hunter or Helen Hunt because we both have enormous foreheads. But if I get bangs, then I'll get people with bangs. I just think it's interesting. Of just like it's these little teeny tiny things that people sort of conflate you with. You get it, Marley. Good
Renee,
morning,
you just got
Marley.
a special shout out. Hi Marley,
Who's
hello as well.
Marley is
Not
Molly?
jealous at all.
Marley is Molly?
Molly. Oh yeah,
Okay.
is that Marley? Can
Or is
you
this a new Marley?
confirm? Is this a new Marley or is this Molly Marley? Okay, and I got a good morning. You know I get jealous. Please
Thank you. I
know
know. Yeah,
anything
no,
about
I think
me.
we all
I
picked
will
up on that.
girl,
Yep.
if Renee gets a birthday gift, I get one too, even if it's on her birthday.
It's a good way to go through
Um,
life. Absolutely.
and it is
Yes.
Molly. It is Molly. Way to remember. Way to remember. We
Molly,
have to figure.
Molly.
wish we knew how to fix your tech for you. Um, because did we just Freaky Friday just now?
No,
Did we?
we did a little bit of a flippity flop, but I wonder if do you have a logo that you need to see
No,
this
I
morning?
do
Is our
not this
producer
week.
Sarah? And producer Sarah was like, "Well, listen, I'm going to hear about it, so I'll do the flop."
I gotta hear about it backstage. I've yet to Naomi Campbell yet. Throwing cell
Yet.
phones.
I love it.
All right, let's get in. Oh, and look at this. Stacy knows how to change it. So Stacy, it takes a
Okay.
village. Before you leave, please help Molly be able to figure out how to change it because we don't know. We don't know. We're just pretty faces. Renee, what's going on in today's show? Do you
Oh, I
know?
would love to tell you. I would love to tell you. You guys, we have such a good show. I really love Wednesdays. I mean, I love every day, but Wednesdays, I love it.
You love it.
I think because I love you love it. You want to marry Wednesdays platonically. I think I like Wednesdays because we start out with music. So we're going to start with our morning jam. What's getting us through the week? We'll also be doing our birthday quizzes, which has also become one of my favorite things. I think because you get on uppers are helping me out with the answers. So a quiz is fun when I get it right, which I do because the guests are helping, which I love.
Right.
Which I love.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. We've got today's Black History Moment. Also my favorite segment. Am I going to say that after each one? Probably. What would you do Wednesday, wherein I will give you various scenarios that are happening to people in celebrity land, and you will tell me, well, what would you do? What would you do? Did they make the right choice? What would you do?
Yeah.
As well,
I have a real
yes.
life scenario to throw into the mix this week.
This is very exciting. I can't wait. I cannot wait. Should we just jump to that?
No, Renee's like, give me the goods. Give me the goods. No.
What's going on with you? Tell me it all. Okay.
And
then Jam, you want to tell them what else they've gotten themselves into? All right, there you go. You got it.
Wait. Yeah. We're also going to look at the back half of the show. What news has potential? We have some news stories that this looks good. This could work out well. I have a slew of while in or working it, just pretty much headlines that we're just going to rip and roar through. You'll tell us, is this person or this thing while in or is it working it? Then we're going to close with a little bit of Wednesday wisdom and what are you watching? And I also appreciate just here in the chat, we've got Stacy and Doug helping Molly change their name here in the chat. So if you
sweetest, you guys, look at this team.
It's a teamwork makes the dream work. So step one, disable back channel. Step two, never come back. No, I'm just kidding. Step two, Doug said when my device got the wrong name, I just had cliffhanger. If your device gets the wrong name, you disable it. So that is true. Yeah, you disable it apparently. And then step two, as Stacey says, enable back channel once again. Step three is open the channel and tell them your name. Oh, and it's Molly's mom's account, so that's
sure. No, that I was gonna say. I think that happens all the time in my family. Where my mom actually, when social media first came around, she got Hank into a little bit of trouble because she was just going everywhere, and everybody's mad at Hank. Hank didn't do anything.
Going on all the channels, all the things, just beep, bop, boop, bop, bop, but just going off, flame wars all over the place. Wow. All right, Renee, it is time for Morning Jam. It is Happy Hump Day Morning Jam. Get on uppers. What is your morning jam or your jam of the week? What is the song that is stuck in your head or motivating you to get through the week or defining your week? Like it's just like can't touch this. Can't touch this. You don't want no one touching you because you too hot. Too hot. Renee, what is your
here's what I was doing is I was pulling it up on Spotify, and I wonder if this is possible, but I don't know if you recall, but yesterday we were talking about dating, and it came up that I am phenomenally picky. Oh my goodness gracious, she is picky. And then for the rest of the day, I had holding out for a hero in my head the rest of the day. I know. So for my sweet get on uppers, I would imagine that you guys are all little buddies, that you are not certainly not Gen Xers, and probably not even but this is how this song goes. It's called Holding Out for a Hero. Can you hear that? Listen to that beat. Listen to that get started. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Great. All right. So, and then that goes on for about 5 minutes. And then, uh-oh. Uh-oh. We love it. We love it. Okay. So Holding Out for a Hero is my jam for the
I
day.
love
for the
it.
day.
I want it
you.
blasting into my ears. That is a great workout jam as well. Doug said, "If I Was a Cowboy" by Miranda Lambert. Nice pick. Nice pick.
Yes. Such a good one.
And then Stacy has that song from Footloose. Could it be Footloose?
Ooh,
Footloose.
yes.
Put on your Sunday shoes. Footloose. Footloose.
You know what's
Put on
crazy
your
about
Sunday
that
shoes. You
is
know a
that
line dance?
know the line dance, but also Holding Out for a
Same.
Hero is in the musical, like the stage musical, Footloose.
Oh, is it when
I
he
know.
does that dance, his angry dance through the warehouse?
It should be, but no, it's when the gals are talking about who they want to date. Holding Out for a Hero, and it's great, and
I
it's
have to
got
tell
that
you,
classic musical
we-
theater harmony.
I would like to see Footloose the musical, because I got to tell you, Footloose the movie, boy, again, I'm obsessed with dance movies, and I was
Sure.
like, oh, finally, I get to watch this movie,
Yeah.
and there's no dancing in the movie because the movie's all about they are not allowed to dance. There's
Right.
2 dance sequences. It's the one where Kevin, quote unquote, Bacon, quote unquote,
I
dances
getcha.
through a warehouse,
Yeah.
aka his dance double, dances
Yeah.
through like a warehouse in shadow. He can do a look at those moves, and then at the very
Another
end, they all
one.
dance terribly in a barn. I was so disappointed. Fame,
So
she
upset.
wasn't.
I get
Fame,
it.
she
I
wasn't.
get it. I get it.
Flash
Getting back,
dance, she was not.
I listen, and you have every right to be upset. Every right.
Angry.
You were correct. I will send a letter on your behalf. Audra
Thank you.
hilariously said the first time she heard Holding Out for a Hero was in Shrek 2.
Oh, absolutely. And it was
delightful. Yes.
sang, and I believe it was sang by yesterday's birthday girl, Jennifer Walters.
Come on.
Yeah,
Looky,
yeah,
looky,
I was gonna have that as
looky.
a fact. Thank you
I'll
for bringing
take
it
it.
back, Audra. I actually
Thank
had
you.
that on my I had that exact version of Holding Out for a Hero on repeat. I love that
Come on.
version from Shrek 2. It's so good.
So
There's also a
good. It's
Glee
so good.
version that's also great. And Renee, when
Yes.
you catch
Yes.
up to Euphoria, the latest
Oh, I'm
episode,
fully caught up. I'm
wait,
100%. Oh,
so
do
you
you?
did you
I
see the
am
dance number? Oh, no wonder it's stuck in your head.
also that. I was also going to say that. I was also going to say that. Yep.
I was like, oh, that's so weird because there's
It's so
a
interesting. No,
very
that's how it started.
amazing dance number in Euphoria. It is so good.
So good.
It's a little steamy,
Euphoria.
a
My
little
goodness.
steamy. I love the behind the scenes stuff at the choreographer. I love watching on Euphoria on HBO Max. They have like a 10-minute like how they made the episode and behind the scenes because I need it to decompress. Highly recommend going back and they talk about it. I can't believe Renee, like Perfect Angel Culver, has made it all the way through.
All the way through.
Euphoria.
All the way through.
Ow!
All the way through. Not
Shocked.
scared once.
Shocked.
Well, no, that's not.
That can't be true.
I was
I get
gonna
scared all the
see
time. I
if
cheat when I watch Euphoria. I pause and I scan
Mhm.
forward a little bit to see is something crazy gonna happen because it gets
Sure.
season 2 has been intense. It suddenly
It's been
became
very intense. But
it
the
suddenly became
episode,
like
I want to talk about 2 episodes. The first one is, and I think I can do both of these without spoilers. The first one is the suitcase when
yeah, Rue?
that all the awards. Give Zendaya
Oh, yeah.
every single
Yeah.
award that has ever existed ever for that episode. And then the one that just came out on Sunday, I didn't have to fast forward because I love Fez more than anything in the world. I love him. I love him. I love him. Fez, I love you. I love you, Fez. I need you to know the sweetest character in all the land. So I did have to fast forward a little bit. Taking a sip of disagreement, but being polite about it. I'll take it.
No, you, Renee, I have to tell you, sometimes
Yes.
you're not good reading the tea leaves because I was actually just like, oh, great, Renee is talking. I can take a sip of coffee for a moment.
Just
All
a
that
quick sip.
moment was.
Just a
That's
quick
all that
sip of
moment
coffee.
was.
Just a quick sip of coffee.
I love Fez
yes.
too. Who doesn't love Fuzz?
Everybody
I feel
loves
like this
Fez.
show has become a little bit like Breaking Bad, and I get scared for everybody.
Sure. No, yeah, 100% right. And Audra agrees that watched one episode and was so stressed out. You were correct. You're correct on all of that. But because you don't jump scare me, I'm in. You can't spook me
Wow.
when I'm not ready for it. That's all. I can handle things that I know are coming. I love it. Also,
Fascinating.
Martha Kelly, she's so good.
Yeah.
Did you watch Baskets?
Terrifying. I don't what? No, not at
Yeah,
all. Is
okay,
that a
all right,
thing?
fair. Yeah, fair. But no,
Never heard of
she's
her.
phenomenal. Okay, fair.
Okay, well,
Yes,
real quick, let me tell you my morning
please
jam.
do.
If
Please
you
do.
watched Liv's show earlier, you got a little sneak peek. So I told y'all I had gone on a date this past weekend. Big German muscular guy. We want to go to the movies. I was thinking we'd go see like Uncharted, some action film or something. And he's like, "No, you want to go see Marry Me? Is that too tacky?" And then I just first of all thought of Renee immediately, and I just was like, "This is
Great movie.
hilarious."
It's a great movie.
Because now
It's
I'm actually gonna
genuinely
see
great.
it, and so we saw "Marry Me," and I had joked with you. I was like, "Oh, I bet you they play like 'Marry Me' throughout the song," and you're like, "Yeah," throughout the movie. You're like,
Mhm.
"Yeah," and boy, do they every chance they get. Jennifer Lopez has a new song called "Marry Me," same as the movie, and the lyric
Mhm.
"Marry me, marry me, marry me, marry me, marry me, marry me." It was everyone's ringtone. It was a
Mhm.
transition into every
Mhm.
scene. It was
Mhm.
just like they performed a dance version of it and then a ballad version of it. You couldn't get enough of that. So that song is stuck in my
So
head. It has nothing to do with my current feelings or moods or thoughts. Um,
I'll
and
take
I
it.
think, do you think a lot of people are going to get proposed to that song?
That's such a good
Is
question.
it
I
too
don't
cheesy?
know that it's gonna make proposals, but I definitely think it's gonna make receptions, and it might make a few ceremonies.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
feel like there could be, like, 'cause I'd be well, listen, it's your wedding, you do exactly what you want. If you were the bride and you wanna walk down the aisle to marry me, say yes, have at it. Happy to hear it. But I think it could be a cute little jam for your flower girl and ring bearer to have
Marry
them.
me, marry me. Like,
"Marry
yeah, and I feel like they went, they like, we want to be the marriage jam and song.
Yeah.
Get on Uppers. I'm curious, have you seen Marry Me? Do you have any interest? It is on Peacock. We went to the theater for whatever
Ooh,
reason. We went to the theater to
look
pay
at you,
for it.
fancy kids.
Or other question, have you seen an Owen Wilson movie or Jennifer Lopez movie? What's your favorite Owen Wilson or Jennifer Lopez movie? Yeah, I thought there was a really terrible song in this movie, though. Also stuck in my head. I'm sorry, Renee. I
Okay.
don't mean to
Yeah, which
bash
one?
on your movie.
No,
There's a
which one didn't
song
you like?
called there's a song called Church, and it's not that I'm against, obviously not against church. No, 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 no.
Right.
The lyrics are just really bad. The song was just, it was like, it was sort of being like, I'm gonna take you to church, church, church. I'm gonna take you to
Yeah.
church, church, church. And it was them, like, the nuns were like these like
Yeah.
sexy nuns dressed, and it was trying to be like this sort of like gospel sound. And I love Jennifer Lopez. You're watching this show right now, so I'm hesitant to say anything mad. Her voice just wasn't right for the song. Her voice just
Okay.
wasn't. She's got a
Okay.
pop
Didn't love
voice.
it.
She can't do the gospel. And
S
I was thinking it was terrible.
Yeah.
And my date was like, "This is a terrible
Stacy,
song."
would you look at Stacy's joke? Stacy, you sang the song. She's like, "Well, sorry, I
No,
have to go."
no,
Stacy,
Stacy. I'm
Stacy,
saying, wait,
I
Stacy,
love
listen to
it.
the song. It's
No, but she's
not.
on her way to church right now. She's letting you know where
Okay.
she's going, and you made such a lovely introduction to it. Stacey, listen,
Okay.
this is the best
I
joke
don't
you've
really
made.
see.
I love it. That is hilarious. That's hilarious.
That
Um,
could be your song, Stacey. I'm gonna take you to church, church,
church,
church. I'm
church,
gonna take you to
church,
church. And
church,
I bet you, Stacey,
church.
you should sing it over Jennifer Lopez. She just doesn't have the voice for it. She doesn't have a voice for it.
That's fair.
And
Now,
I
am
thought,
I picking up properly? I feel like maybe you didn't love the movie as a whole. Am I gleaning this properly? Wasn't your favorite.
not my favorite, not even my
Not
favorite
your
rom
favorite.
com, and I don't
Okay.
have many
Okay.
favorite rom coms.
Okay.
Here is my thing, is that
Yeah.
I thought that Jennifer Lopez could have leaned more into like a character. Like I felt like she was being so likable, and so she didn't have
Yeah.
an arc, right? And so
Okay.
I feel like if she was more of like a pop diva and just needed, like, her biggest challenge is she needed to learn how to make her own smoothie. Like they
Sure.
challenged each other through the movie. He needed
I
to get
see.
out. He needed to try social media, and he was like, then like, oh, you can't do anything by yourself. She's like, yes, I can. I can make a smoothie. And then of course she puts all the ingredients into the smoothie blender, and doesn't put the lid on, and it got all over. Like you saw a mile away.
That's
Like
fair.
you
I
just
think the root of this though is coming. Well, one, I blame myself. I blame myself because I think I set your expectations too high because I was like, I loved it. I loved it. So I think I did that because I went into it going, oh boy. So I think you got to come in with the proper expectations. And then two,
yeah.
you have gone on record to say you do not like a rom-com. So I think you have to have some love, some affection for the 90s rom-com to appreciate this movie. And if you do not have that,
I
that is okay, but you probably will not like Marry Me,
I
which
do
is fair.
like formulaic comedy movies where like someone messes up and has to work it out in the end. Like is this a rom-com? It was oh gosh, honeymoon what was it? Vacation Friends on Hulu. Such a great
Okay.
movie. Oh, you should
Okay.
absolutely watch it. It has Yvonne Orji from Insecure, John Cena.
Amazing.
Hilarious movie.
Love
It
it.
has a very formulaic plot, but it's sort of different. I just think it's 2020, and I felt like the movie could have done something more, I think, interesting with it.
Okay.
Or like J-Lo could lean more into a character. I want to see an arc, and I don't feel like there was
Right.
a lot. It could have been lean more into the funny.
I
I
get
don't
you.
know.
I get you.
Lean more
I think
be character.
that it's 2022 sort of defending of it is just like because they don't make movies like this anymore, which is why I
Fair,
loved it. But
fair,
you're
fair.
right that there's been no evolution since Serendipity with this movie.
Right. Well, here's the
It's the
thing.
exact
It
same.
did
Yeah.
evolve in the sense of several queer characters, right? There
Yes.
was a lesbian, there was a gay man, biracial daughter, so
Great.
there is
Great.
some advancement. So,
Okay. All
and Jennifer
right.
Lopez wasn't like, sometimes they try to make you think that she's Latina, but she was very
Mhm.
much like speaking Spanish. Like she was like, "Where are my Latinos?" Like she was very much, so
Right. I get you.
it
I
was,
get you.
there was a lot of good things. I give it
Okay.
a solid B minus.
What did your date think of the film?
I think he really liked it.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you find it in your heart to let him enjoy it, or did you have to whisper over to him over and over,
100%.
"There's no arc. There's no
100%.
arc. The only thing that's wrong is she hasn't
Oh,
been able to make it smooth." Okay.
I I mean, after the movie, I shared all of these thoughts, but not during, not during at all. I let him have it. Let him have it. Then
Okay.
afterwards,
No,
you
that's
heard
right,
all
don't
of my
really.
thoughts and
Yeah, I
opinions and
sure did.
complaints,
Okay.
on a
Okay.
rom-com, which again, maybe I'm just not the right audience. So let y'all have it. And there was
Yeah.
expert level dancing, of course, Audra. Yes, there
Yes.
was. Yes, yes,
We love it.
yes.
We love it. Expert level
Well,
dancing in both Marry Me and Euphoria. It's great. This last
oh,
episode of
yeah.
Euphoria is wild.
I mean,
Yeah.
and Zendaya's got to win all the Emmys. Like she's done just a phenomenal tour de force performance of it.
Yeah.
Just it's such a great show. Such a great show.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Well, it is time for Marry Me, Marry. Oh, wrong song.
Happy
Celebrity.
birthday.
Oh,
Happy
wait,
birthday.
hold
Say
on.
yes.
Stop
Yes.
the presses. I got a comment from Audra that bears
Oh,
repeating.
okay.
Audra said expert level dancing, and I was like, oh yeah, Jennifer Lopez was great. Audra corrected me. Oh, I meant yours, Jam.
Thank you.
Marry me, marry
you.
me,
Thank
marry
you.
me.
The
Audra,
best dancer
marry
in the
me,
biz.
marry
She's
me,
the
marry
best
me.
dancer
My church.
in the
I'm gonna take you
biz.
to church. This was the choreography. Church. I'm gonna take you to church. And just sexy nuns. And I will say it was funny that it was kind of like a comment how pop culture just over sexualizes everything. And I thought that was
Sure.
funny, but like
Yeah.
they didn't really lean into it. Was like someone had a funny idea and I don't know.
Yeah.
More of that.
Yeah.
More of that. That's what I'm thinking.
No, I think we all have the genre that we're mad about the lack of reality at it. So I will do that with dragons, a dragon-based film, like a Lord of the Rings or a Game of Thrones. I was just like, so they just came in on a dragon. All right, so there's just a ring that's gonna fix everything. All right, so I think
Totally makes
everybody's
sense,
got
Renee.
something, or and I would never, but I was like, okay, so Captain America goes in a tube and he just comes out taller and stronger. Yeah, right. Well, never seen it in real life, but enjoy.
I'm actually okay with the lack of reality. I think lean more into it. Be more ridiculous. Be more absurd. Give me some Anna Faris. Like Anna
Fair.
Faris in a rom-com, I'm there for. Give me
Love
over
it.
the top.
Love it.
That's what I
Okay,
want.
I
Liz
get
Lemon.
it. I
That's what
understand.
I want.
I respect it. Okay, I'm ready. some
I'm gonna
birthdays.
take you to birthdays. We're gonna have some birthdays.
Hey, yeah.
Happy birthday. All right, so it is celebrity birthday quiz, everybody. And so we're gonna need all of you to help Renee figure out the right answers
Yeah.
for these birthdays. I'm talking to you, Gliss, Steve, Amanda, Deborah, Verona, Chandler, Sunny, Bella, Doug, Nathan, and sometimes C, Jennifer Lopez. Sorry, I was critiquing your movie, but feedback is a gift. Feedback is a gift. Cole, Audra, Jason, Marley, Rico. Ooh, mid-show. Roll call. Didn't think it was going to
Very
happen.
nice. It's good. We'd love to see it. We absolutely love
They
to see it,
perk up.
especially
They're
because
like,
I'm about to need so much
they
help.
need my help.
Okay.
They need my
Well,
help.
Renee,
They need my
you
help.
can't do this by yourself. Certainly not. Certainly not. Yes.
No, I don't know. All right, it is Miss Niecy Nash's birthday. Miss Niecy
Yeah.
Nash turning 52. 52. Can you name? We really know her from Reno 911. Can you name her character's name in Reno 911?
Oh no.
Can
I
you name? We're getting
love her.
specific. We're getting specific
To be
today.
fair, I love Reno 911, and I can't tell you one character's name right now.
Not even
So,
Officer Dangle.
nope. I mean, now that you
Trudy.
said it, sure. Now that you said it, yes. Get on uppers, help me out. What is Niecy's name in Reno 911? What's the
We
character's
have
name?
an idea.
Do we
Character
know?
name. You can always
Yeah.
take a guess as well. Maybe a last
Sure.
name
Sure.
or even
Yeah,
a
yep.
position.
Anything, but anything. Yeah,
Position.
well, yeah, I will give the position that she should have had, which is captain. So her
Captain,
name was
okay.
Captain in Reno 911. Correct? Final answer?
Captain Reno. Is that what we're going
Yes.
with? Jimmy,
Yes.
welcome to the stream. We are playing Celebrity Birthday Quiz. It's Niecy Nash's 52nd birthday on 2/23/22. Still a palindrome. Are people losing their
Okay,
minds still?
look at that.
Are people still
Look
losing
at
their minds
that.
over this
Probably.
date?
Probably.
No.
Very exciting. It's very exciting.
The leftovers who couldn't get married yesterday. Answer is Deputy Renisha Williams. Renisha Williams.
Looky there. Okay,
We
deputy.
want to make
Should have
up
been
question. Want to make up question? Can you name the animated series she recently voiced a character for on Netflix?
Is she in Q-Force?
Ding, 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 ding. Renee is the winner, winner,
Yeah.
chicken dinner. Renee, did you watch Q-Force? I watched
I
it.
love
I thought it was
Q-Force.
funny. It was
Q-Force
so
is
good.
fun. It's a good time.
I don't think it's getting a
Oh.
second season.
Well,
It's very the humor I will say is very LA. Like they were like, can I? They're like they stopped. There's one scene I was like, oh my god, this is so hilarious. But only if you live in a city that has parking issues.
yeah.
They park, and he's like, can I park here? And then there was a sign that was like only on Tuesdays, but not on Sundays. And between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m.
Yeah,
there's
that's
like all
very
these
LA.
different
Yeah.
signs, and it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's very, very true.
Yeah.
Hilarious
All right.
show. I thought. So funny.
Well, all right.
Twink
It's saying
hilarious.
as of this writing, it has not been renewed.
Yeah,
But did
it was
you read
oddly
that it got
divisive. It
canceled?
was oddly divisive. I enjoyed
Oh,
it.
weird.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Ava,
Okay.
welcome to Get On Up. We are playing Celebrity Birthday Quiz. Even our producer Sarah just chimed in. Such a good show. I agree. A queer
Loved it.
animated show about spies. It's my dream show. So great. Voice casting, amazing. Loved it. Guess whose birthday it is?
Whose birthday is it?
It's Emily Blunt's 39th birthday. 39th birthday.
Emily Blunt. We love her so much.
And I don't know if this is I thought she was older. Is that a weird thing to say?
You know what? I think because she's so
much more mature.
So mature and so funny
Yeah.
and knows herself so well, and like no
Yep.
matter who she plays opposite of.
Yeah.
I was about ready to say Jungle Book, but I guess I'm gonna say it anyway. I was like, but what if that's the clue? And then
what's
ruined
the
it.
Disney movie that she's
Yeah.
in? No. Mary
Okay.
Poppins could have been it.
Sure.
All right. How about this? We're
Okay.
sticking, we love the MCU here. We just made this an MCU show. I'm sorry, but I'm
Yes.
also not
No.
sorry.
Yeah.
What role was she originally up for in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? This role was
Ooh.
originally hers. Schedule conflicts, and but she's been itching to get back into the MCU ever
Look at
since.
that. I'll go with Brie Larson's character. Was she originally the first Brie Larson whose name is Captain Marvel? Is that her name?
Ooh, what a great guess, Renee. Look at you making your future nerd
Yeah. Oh,
boyfriend so.
interesting. Audra says Black Widow. Okay. All right. We got people chiming in, trying to guess. Let's see.
All
Do we
right,
have
who is
any
right?
others?
Good thing Audra's here because Audra is
Yeah.
right. Get on up. You did get
Love
it
it.
right. It is Black Widow.
Black Widow.
Originally, she was going to be Black
Lucky
Widow.
her.
I think
Great.
she would have been. I think she would have been such a great Black Widow. Maybe giving us an actual like Russian accent that she's supposed to have. But anyways,
Oh boy, who are you giving shade to right now? Who actually is Black Widow?
Scarlett Johansson, who
Oh, I
just
see.
came in and
Okay.
she was just pretty. She grew on
It's
me
okay.
eventually, but I'm always like, not
Okay.
my Black
It took a
Widow.
beat, but it took a beat. Okay.
It's
Fair.
like a beat. All right. She is also in a movie where she plays a character that has her same name. She plays a character named Emily. And do you know what movie she plays this character named Emily in this hit movie?
It's a
Some
hit
might even
movie.
say,
A smash hit movie.
yeah, some might even say her
Okay.
breakout hit.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay, on numbers, I'm going to need some help. It's not Quiet Place. It's not Mary Poppins. Was she a nanny? I feel like is there Emily in the City? In the smash hit movie, Emily in the City.
Ooh,
Final
going with
answer.
Emily in the City, everyone's favorite movie. Everyone's favorite movie, Emily in the City. The answer is The Devil Wears Prada. So close.
Oh, right.
So
God, she's so good in
close.
that. She's so good in that. I
Yeah,
forgot that her name was Emily.
Ring.
Okay. Okay. I love
They're
it.
like
I love
lines
it.
that are just like, Emily, get this
I love
together.
it.
Emily.
love it.
I thought that was in your wheelhouse in that romantic comedy.
You would think. You would think. And Ava, we get it. We appreciate you being here while you can be here. I will need help with the quiz though. So if you could just
You're like,
stick
if you
around
can
real
stick
quick.
around.
Just stick around real quick. I'll write you a
is-
note. Please excuse Ava as she is late because she was watching a show wherein the co-host did not know any answers and I had to stick around and help. Perfectly justifiable excuse to be late. Perfectly.
100%. Okay, it's Josh Gad's 41st birthday. See, this is so wild that he's
Birthday,
older.
Josh
I don't
Gad.
know. I don't know how time works. Josh
Okay,
Gad,
Josh.
what a flattering photo you found of him, Sarah. This is great. All right. He voices this buildable Disney animated character everybody loves. What buildable Disney animated character does Josh Gad? And yes, shout out to Tugboat. Shout out to Tugboat. Audra.
There he is.
Yep.
Oh, he is pouting today. My goodness gracious. Audra is correct. It's Olaf from Frozen.
Do we like the Olaf? Renee, how many times have you seen Frozen?
Love Olaf. Because I used to babysit, so 106.
Renee, you would be the best babysitter. I feel like a
We
little
have the exact
over
same
it,
maturity level. Yeah.
Because you like the same things. You're like, yeah, let's put on a Frozen, and
absolutely,
you were like the perfect aunt, because you're like you get in, get out, and same thing like as a babysitter. You're just like, let me get the kiddos, and then
here we go,
I'm out.
and then there you go, exactly. Let me just give you all my enthusiasm. I'm gonna go watch all of Euphoria in one weekend.
Good. No, kids are gone. I'm out. All right. Do you know the name? You're a musical buff, Renee. So this is for you.
Yeah.
This is for you. Okay.
Yes.
Your musical Broadway card is on the line with this one.
Okay. Let's see it.
Can you name his character in the Book of Mormon?
Oh, I can't name his character, but I can tell you he was in Book of Mormon. Brother something. I don't listen, Sarah, Jam, both of you. Can we have a quick aside? Can we do a quick sidebar? Quick sidebar. I don't know names of characters, so we can play this all day long. I'll never get it. Never. That's fine. I'll tell you the show. I can tell you the song. I can hum you the tune. I will never be able to tell you the character.
Maybe calm down and go talk to the Get On Uppers. It's not just you. Meanwhile,
Audra,
let's hear what the Get On Up team
Elder Cunningham. Thank you, Audra. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, Elder Cunningham. Final answer.
Shall we go with Elder Cunningham? Are we done from the aside tantrum that just happened? Woo! The correct answer is Elder
Elder
Cunningham.
Cunningham. Good
Wow, thanks,
night.
Tatra. This is a quiz for everybody. So, Renee, it's, teamwork effort. I don't know what I have good name.
Sure.
Stop
And
asking
it
me.
certainly
Elder
had
Cunningham. Oh,
nothing
I
to
think it's
do
Elder
with you
Cunningham.
saying your entire reputation is on the line. Everything depends on this. Everything I respect about you will change if you don't get this right. I don't think that had anything to do with my reaction to this. Certainly not. Certainly not.
Rewind the tape. Rewind. Perception is everything. Perception. I just had your Broadway card. That's all. Just your Broadway card. It's a joke. All right, last one,
I
last one.
love it.
Also
Yes.
turning 39, him and Emily Blunt, they're twins. It's Aziz. I'm sorry.
Aziz.
Okay,
Yes.
well,
Here we go.
as you know, on Parks and Rec, his
Mhm.
character, Tom Haverford and Donna created this day. It was their catchphrase. They created
Ooh,
this day.
I
Do
love
we
it.
have an idea?
I am not a big Park and Rec person, but we can guess. Get on uppers. What do you think? If you know it, let me know the right answers. If not, we'll put it together and we'll guess. We'll guess.
Can
I feel
even
like his character said treat yourself a lot. Was it treat yourself day? Yep, there we go, Audra. Treat yourself day. And it's a great day to celebrate. Every day's treat yourself day. Love it.
Well, we
Love
do
it.
it on Tuesdays. That's where
We sure
we
do.
do it on Tuesdays. Treat yourself Tuesday. So
Thank
there
you
you
so
go. And
much.
that is the correct answer. Well done. Get on uppers. Snaps all around. And Renee, I'm wondering if we can
Yes.
switch gears here and do what
Yes.
would you do Wednesday real
I
quick
would love
as
nothing
I
more.
all
I
right.
would love nothing more. It is time for What Would You Do Wednesday, wherein I give you various scenarios that are currently happening in the news or in real life. And you guys let me know. What would you do? What would you do? So if you follow sweet little Molly Ringwald, we love her so much, star of the 80s, she recently uh, published a tweet, a Instagram of the text from her mother, wherein it says, "Do you have anything else to say to me today?" And then her mom realized, oopsie daisy. Oops. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Is it your birthday? Is it currently your birthday? Which is hilarious because that is the exact plot of 16 Candles. So Molly Ringwald, known for her role in 16 Candles, it starts out, oh no, they forgot her birthday. And then it happened in real life. Mom actually forgot the birthday. Now, if that were to happen to you, if a parent or someone significant to you forgot your birthday, you gonna let it slide? You're gonna post it on Instagram. What would you do? I will start. I don't think I'd post it on Instagram, but I know myself well enough to know that I would tell absolutely everyone in real life. Jim, what would you do if your parents forgot your birthday and you were Molly Ringwald and you starred in a movie called 16 Candles, wherein the plot of the movie was they forgot my birthday? Would you post it on Instagram?
Wait, so did she forget her mom's birthday or her mom forgot
Her
her
mom
birthday?
forgot her birthday.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that is rough when the parents
Yeah.
forgot. Because I forgot my dad's birthday once, and he sent me to go stay with my mom for the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That's okay.
Look at
That's
this
alright.
flying in from the Get On Uppers. They have a lot of thoughts and opinions on
We'd
this
love
one.
to see it. Yeah.
Audra said, "I never let it go. I'd absolutely hold a grudge until they got me
Uh-huh.
enough presents, even as
That's a
an."
perfect way to handle that. Perfect way. Yes.
And then Doug says I'd be very disappointed and I would say something about it. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
this is definitely, especially I would definitely posting to Instagram because I don't think my mom. Oh, she just joined Instagram. I would like to do it on a
Yeah.
channel where they're not. My dad's not on social media, so I definitely
Right.
would add this. I would talk about it on my morning show. I would
Yes.
probably show you. I would tell you all about it. I would tell everybody
Yeah.
who could listen. Absolutely, this is it's a
Yeah.
funny
Right.
story. It's funny.
It's so good. It's so good. I love it. And also we did celebrate Molly Ringwald's birthday right here on this very show. Look at that. And then just moments later, we even told like
Yeah.
her mom was watching the show and then just
She
forgot.
knew. Yeah, I know.
She knew.
Mom, we
She knew.
gave you the hint. We gave you
She
the
knew.
hint.
Yeah.
We gave you the hint.
We
Yeah.
love it. We love it. So this next what would you do is well, and then Jim, because you have a personal one, but I have silly celebrity ones. Would it make sense to do silly celebrity, personal silly celebrity, or get all the silly celebrities out
Let's
of the way
do
and
all
then do your
yours and
personal?
then I'm gonna
Okay. All right.
throw one your
And then
way.
you jump on in here. Jump on in here. I mostly want to tell you about this because this story is so charming that I was like, come on. Oh, this is so good. So they are doing a film about Weird Al Yankovic. Do you know who's playing him?
Oh my god, I knew but I forgot. Remind me.
Sure, Daniel Radcliffe So Daniel Radcliffe
Oh,
is
that's right.
playing
Yeah. Look
Weird
at
Al Yankovic, which
him.
is
Look
which
at
is
him. We
adorable
love
as the
it.
day is long. Um, so Weird Al got interviewed for this, and his quotes are so charming. He goes, "I have no doubt whatsoever that this will be the role future generations will remember him for."
Yeah, absolutely not, Harry Potter. This is the one. This is
We
the
love it.
one.
We love it. We love it. And then he goes on to say that it's been a long time since he's done a movie. And so he goes, when my last UHF came out, it was 1989. And I made a solemn vow to my fans that I would release a major motion picture every 33 years. And like clockwork, happy to say we're right on schedule. Buddy, he's just so fun. He's just so quippy. He's so funny.
He's
I love it
great.
so much. He's just couldn't be sweeter. So my what would you do is weird. I guess, and this is for civilians. I guess if you're Daniel Radcliffe, you have a different sort of set of standards. But if it were someone that iconic, would you take on the role of impersonating them? I would be so intimidated. There's no way that I would take on
I
the
would
role of impersonating someone. I'd be
It's
terrified.
weird. In some ways, you'd rather they'd be dead, you
Yeah.
know? Like, it's like someone who's no longer here because
Yeah. No, they
like
can't
it's
tell
kind
me
of a
if they're
double
mad.
edged
Yeah.
because if they're still alive, you can then ask them questions, but
Sure.
like you can kind of dig into them a little bit more. But I don't know. I think you just get to. I mean, the best option is just to really Daniel Day-Lewis this and just go for like Abraham Lincoln, who's been long dead. No one really knows what he sounds like. There's like one
It's
audio
true.
clip in some
Yeah.
library, and you just
Yeah.
get to make it up. I think that's
Mhm.
that's the way to go. I will not play anyone who's alive.
Couldn't agree more. I
Still
couldn't
alive.
agree more.
Nope.
And listen, I know that we're putting awards on blast. It is documented here that we're out for them. They need to behave better here at Get On Up, and we know that. If Get On Uppers, you could hear me out with this. If somehow, some way, awards could get back on our good side, and I don't foresee it happening, but if they could, a thing I would like to ask is, could we have two separate categories, one acting and one impersonating? Because I think they're two very separate skill sets. And when done well, it's phenomenal. But I think it also makes it challenging for the people picking the awards to be like, well, yeah, that was a perfect impersonation, but it wasn't necessarily acting choices, but it's still a talent. How do you decide? I don't know how you
Mm,
decide. I
that
think
is
it's
tough.
impressive.
That is
Yeah.
tough. And I don't think I was intentionally threatening Weird Al Audra, but I might have been. I might have been.
Okay.
He's got to get.
Okay.
Weird Al, you got to get out of here so Daniel
Yeah.
could do his work and not feel the pressure of your whippy clips looming on the Instagrams. And get him
Adorable.
out of here. Get him outta here.
Adorable.
Get on uppers.
Okay,
I'm curious if can I ask Get on uppers this question? Is there
please.
anybody that you would like to, if you were an actor and you got to do a biopic about somebody, whose story would you want to tell? Renee, have you thought about this? Whose biopic, aside from Annie McPhee? I don't know who this. Lisa McPhee, Lisa Turtle,
Something McPhee. Some McPhee. Yeah.
Nanny
Lisa
McPhee,
Turtle. Right? Yeah. um,
Annie. Wait, what is her name?
yeah.
It's gonna drive me crazy. Lisa. No, Sarah McLachlan.
Something. Yeah, I should play Sarah McLachlan, you think?
No.
No.
What
Oh,
is
no.
the McPhee lady's name? I forgot
I
her
see.
name already.
See. Oh, Catherine McPhee. Does that seem right?
Oh, yeah.
There we go. You got
Mhm.
it. You got
She
it.
was
You
on
nailed it.
Smash.
She sure was. She sure was. American Idol right before that. And has been a
Mhm.
Broadway baby ever since. Okay, I have one more for you, and this is for you. This is specifically for you. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I don't think that this is your favorite one, but I tried. So Tom Holland was
Uh-huh.
recently on Kelly and Ryan and Kelly. What's that show called now? The morning show
Yeah,
with Kelly
that's
Ripa.
it. Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
he was telling a story about the very first time that he played Spider-Man. He was in the suit and he wanted to impress everybody. So they put him in the suit and he didn't want to delay production. So he never asked for a bathroom break. And then when he was talking to his mom a little bit later, you know the story. So he's talking to his mom a little bit later. She's like, "How's it going?" And he's like, "It's good, but I gotta go to the bathroom, and I'm having a difficult time holding it for 12 hours straight." And then a few days later on set, one of the producers comes up to Tom and he's like, "Hey, how are your kidneys holding up?" And he was like, that is random. And where did that come from? He's like, well, your mom called us. So mom called the major motion picture studio and said, you need to let my son go to the bathroom. Which is so charming. No, I will say, who is wrangling Tom Holland? Who is not watching him to make sure that he gets these breaks? Why was that?
Yeah.
I agree with
We
mom, but what would you do if your mom called the studios to send my son needs to go potty? You gotta let him.
Good mom. Good
Right?
mom, still on
Yep.
it. Be mortified and embarrassed, but
Yep.
I thought that they built something for him to go pee easier in it, or they were like, or there was
Yes.
someone's, or maybe they learned from it, or maybe because I think it was maybe Kumail Nanjiani who was having the same issue, and
Right.
then I think he had the costume on backwards or something. Like they were like,
Okay.
"Oh,
Oh,
it's
maybe.
you just do this. There's a
Oops.
zipper," and he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I
Yeah.
had no idea. It just was
I
on.
didn't
It
I
was
didn't
on
know. I'm so
backwards."
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. And I think there's a picture,
Yeah,
Tara, if it
what
makes
happens if
sense to show
What
that.
happens if Peggy were to do this? You were
Yeah.
filming Spider-Woman,
Yeah.
and, you're being a trooper because that's how Renee is. She's such a
Yeah.
trooper, she's not gonna bother anybody. She's holding it in for 12
Yeah.
hours,
You
and,
get it.
what do you do? What do you do,
What do you
Renee? What,
do?
your mom,
What do you
Peggy's
do?
calls in, "You gotta let my daughter play."
Mortified.
Yeah.
Absolutely mortified. Mortified. I would never, ever, ever go away. I would always be like, I cannot believe that happened. And that's because of me. That's because of me, not because of her. But I would definitely like politely be like, Mom. And then I would never let it go. And then I'd be embarrassed about it for the rest of my days. And that's how
Oh,
that would
rest
go.
of your life.
And we love it. We
Oh,
love it.
rest
And then, I
of
mean, I
your
can
life.
say, just put a zipper in the back. Just put a zipper in the. But no, I think you're right. They created a little second zipper,
Okay.
which
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, made things a little bit easier. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
All
you
right.
just
It is
made
time
me
for
think of
IRL. What would you do?
Well, no, actually, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna do
Yeah.
a different one.
Oh,
Instead, you just made me think of
okay.
one that I just heard from Will Smith's book, so I'm gonna recount it.
Okay.
Um,
Tell me.
yes. So
Sure.
when Will Smith in his book Will,
Hmm.
he was dating Jada Pinkett when he and his grandmother Gigi hadn't met Jada, and she was like, "I want to meet Jada," and so she flew on out. She mainly was like, "I hear you're dating somebody else. You better
Yeah.
fly me out. I want to come meet her." So Jada was filming something. They live Will Smith knows exactly how long it takes for Jada to get from where she was working on set to his house. And
Okay.
so there was I forget the name of this film. It was one of her like breakout films. I'm embarrassed I can't remember it. Um, but there's this movie and she has this world renowned love scene in it, right?
Right.
It is just this world renowned love scene in it. And Will Smith knows exactly how long it takes to get to that scene. And
Right.
so his grandmother has no idea, like she's not familiar with, movies and stuff like that. She doesn't know the movies that the Jada was in. And so Jada's like, "Okay, I'm on my way," and he's like, "Great." And so he knows that it takes like 52 minutes to get to the love scene, and so he
Right.
starts the movie at the exact time and times it that as soon as
Ooh,
Jada walks in and is
smart.
meeting his grandmother,
You
the love
smart.
scene is
That
happening.
is smart.
Jada
Yeah.
was mortified, and to this day it is a point of contention where he thinks it was a funny practical joke and
Right.
she is mortified about it. What would you all
Yeah.
do if your lover had played it's the first time you're meeting their grandmother and they put like a very, I don't know, compromising your
Yeah.
artwork that was,
I
it's very, what would you
said
do?
smart over and over and over and again under the assumption that, and then they would like go to the door so that they could miss that part of the movie. But that is not what's happening. They stayed planted in the
No.
couch and all watched together.
Yes,
I would
because she
not be
came
dating
in
that person.
and
We'd be done. We'd be done. We'd be done.
she came in and she was
Yeah.
like she could see it on the screen and she like sees the grandmother and the
Yeah.
grandmother goes, "Well, back in my day, actresses didn't used to have we didn't have to show everything," like makes a comment. And that's her first time
Yeah.
meeting her. I mean, they get
Mhm.
along now. But
Yeah.
Jada just sees the scene, sees the
No,
grandmother, sees the scene,
absolutely not.
and Will
Nope.
is just
Nope.
laughing. And he's like, "Oh, it's
Nope.
funny." he's like, oh, it'll be a
Yeah.
story that we'll tell our grandkids of like, oh, the first time you met my grandmother, this is what
Yeah.
happened. But it was so fabricated. You're fabricating this moment happening.
Of course. Well, okay, first,
Terrible.
Audra is hilarious. She's like, "Please see my birthday response. I, can be appeased with gifts. The amount of gifts remains to be seen, but I can be appeased with gifts." I think that's such a positive response. I love it so much. Jim, what would you do if that happened?
Oh, I understand
Yeah.
why it's still a point of contention,
Yeah.
for them. What
Mhm.
would I do? I think I don't know that the relationship would be over, but it might be one of those things that when someone shows you who they really are, believe them the first time.
Yeah.
I would I don't even know if I would have stayed. It would have been a point of contention.
Of course.
I
Yeah.
give snaps. I give Jada snaps for sticking around for this long. Like mortified.
True.
It's
Yeah. No,
terrible.
that's, in general, are you enjoying that book? Do you recommend?
I am. It is a really great book. It's interesting because he shows you the good, the bad, and the ugly of him. And there are
Right.
certain things, and it's like, ooh, Will Smith, I do not like this. But there are a lot of like motivational things that he also has in it. So I listen
That's
to it
good.
sometimes in the morning, and it is very empowering book. You learn about
Yeah.
the history of hip hop, just more of just like the journeys that he had to go through, and you're getting a different lens to all of these different things. Of even just, did you know? His movie with Martin Lawrence, Bad Boys. First of all, him and Martin, like he was competitive with Martin in his own head
Right.
originally, and Bad Boys was originally written for Dana Carvey and John Lovitz.
No kidding. That's
And
nuts.
100%, they couldn't get it together. And so then
Right.
Martin got the script. The script was really written for them and didn't make sense for Will and Martin.
Right.
And Jerry Bruckheimer, it was not Jerry Bruckheimer, Michael Bay. It was Michael Bay's first movie,
Right.
Bad Boys.
Yeah.
He'd only done a music video for Meatloaf where he crashed a
Sure.
plane for like no money.
Right.
It was his first movie, and they did a table read. The script was not great.
Yep.
And since Will and Martin are so used to working in fast-paced television, they kind of made it up as they went along, and we're just writing
Wow.
scenes on the fly day
Oh
before
my
the shoot.
gosh.
And sometimes, like, Michael Bay would be like, "I don't care what you have, or I don't care what you're working on. Just come say it in front of my camera. Where you losing daylight?" Like they were just, yeah,
Wow.
hmm
Wow. Oh, that's
yeah,
fascinating. Interesting,
yeah.
interesting, interesting.
And
Okay.
and there's the
I
famous scene where he's, like, running on the bridge chasing after the car, and Michael Bay wanted him shirtless, and he was, like, intimidated because he just started working out. He was like, "Oh, it's gonna look too cheesy, it's gonna look too cheesy," and he's like, "I'm trying to
yeah.
make you a superhero." So they compromise. He would run with an open shirt, so it would look like a cape, and, he became a action
Okay.
star. Yeah.
It works, and it worked. That's fascinating. Okay. That was a really good what would you do? So good. I wanna say that I could get past it, but I don't think I could. I think I'd
Yeah,
be
it's
like,
pretty yeah,
"Your enjoyment is better than my, like, being
yeah.
humiliated?" No.
Right, and your
Mm-mm.
first time meeting your beloved grandmother,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
that is a lot. Well,
No, I don't
welcome,
think I'd
Joe
get past
and
that.
Nathaniel, to our, to Get On Up. We were just playing a game, What Would You Do? We just figured it out. What would we do? We just figured it all out. So,
We sure
uh,
did.
next, we're gonna do a quick Black History Month moment. This is going to be, Sarah will do, Felipe Luciano is who we will celebrate today. This is Felipe Luciano here, right before your very eyes. And Felipe Luciano, so he is Puerto Rican, but he is one of he's an Afro Latino. And so I want to make sure that we're also celebrating the big diaspora that makes up our huge diaspora of what the Black community is. So this is Felipe Luciano, born 1948, Puerto Rican activist and journalist who was active in the Young Lords and co-founder of the Last Poets. So he was born in 1947, East Harlem. His mother was a first-generation Puerto Rican born in New York, and his father was born in San Juan. And so in 1968, he became a founding member of the original Last Poets with Guylan Kane and David Nelson. And the trio of New York-based performers emphasize this Black reawakening with their subjects of Herbert Danska's 1970 documentary Right On. So the Last Poets are absolutely influential in hip hop, jazz, spoken word. They really had a huge influence on that. And then in 1969, Luciano co-founded the New York chapter of the Young Lords. So the Young Lords, they are a Puerto Rican nationalist organization modeled after the Black Panthers, founded a year earlier, who were founded a year earlier in Chicago. And so really, I think there's a lot of misconceptions about some of these groups and organizations. The Black Panthers were really fighting to keep their communities safe. The free lunch program was something that was actually started by the Black Panthers here in California. So if you were ever on free lunch or know anybody who was on free lunch, you have the Black Panthers there to thank for that. So again, the Young Lords were trying to just really protect their communities because they're experiencing, police brutality, and also trying to, keep, drugs out of their community, and just really give they're just community service organizations. Very militant and very strong armed, but it really felt like back in the 60s, the country was just, you thought it was in turmoil. Now it was very much just ripping at the seams there. So the Young Lords, they stressed the importance of self-determination and community service. They challenged various forms of oppression. And so the New York branch started as an affiliate organization of the Chicago Young Lords before separating to become the Young Lords Party. So they became the official organization. And so in contrast, the group became known as the Young Lords Organization. So just leveling it up there a little bit. And so the Young Lords Party organized community-based interventions, including free breakfast and clothing programs, similar to what the Black Panther Party was doing as well. Also health service programs, childcare, really like this idea of it takes a village, because there was not a lot of community services for them. So Luciano emerged as just a gripping orator. Like, you would hear him speak, and people just would absolutely listen and just felt so motivated by him. And he was elected as chairman for the Young Lords Party. And he also spoke at many of their demonstrations. He called for wide-scale reform and social empowerment for his community. And the activism of the Young Lords Party succeeded in creating lasting change for the local communities. And they also launched the activist careers of many members, including himself. So after the Young Lords, he actually became a radio host. He would play music such as from Tito Puente, Eddie Palomari, and Celia Cruz, who we have talked about here on the show for Black History Month as well. And he, on his show, would converse with other artists and academics about various aspects of Latin music. He was also the first Puerto Rican news anchor of a major media network station in the US, and he won 2 Emmy Awards for his journalism. And he also continues to do the work and speak out on social justice and community empowerment. And so that is Luciano.
Amazing. Yeah. It's just so inspiring to see these, and then with a little bit of reflection of, you are never allowed to complain again, Renee, ever, about anything, ever. I don't want to hear about bandwidth. I don't want to hear about tired. I don't want to hear about digital fatigue. Look at what is possible if you just step up a bit. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
it does kind of make me think again. Often, I was going to save this for Wednesday Wisdom, and I'll probably just bring it back. But we're kind of generationally lambs. Like, yes, millennials and Gen Z and Gen X, we've going through it. And you look at this, these guys were like young and in the streets and doing such work and community organizing. Martin Luther King was 39 when he was murdered. So it's so young, and it's sort of like, we're the adults in the room, and we have to take up the reins. Like, we are the ones that we are been waiting for to fix things and change things, that we're also so much stronger than we think. Like, things are not perfect, but they were also not they were terrible back then, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely have gotten better. They didn't have Netflix back then. They had, like,
They sure
2
did not.
channels. They didn't have,
They
like
sure did not. Yeah. Yeah. Lammy lamb
so
lamb lambs is accurate. Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, that's why, like well, I'm so glad that you got that out of that. I think it's inspiring to look back to the past and get inspired. Get inspired by
Yeah.
those who came before us, and I think about that all the time when I think about these heroes that we talk about. It's just like, wow, they've really had to go through it, and we're doing okay.
It's incredible. Yeah. 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 We're fine. Amazing.
Well,
That was
it
great.
it
Yes.
is the 8 o'clock show, so I want to welcome any newcomers who just slipped right onto the show. We got Sam who just joined. Welcome, and so you're watching Get On Up with Jam and Renee right here on Back Channel. You can interact with the show if you're on YouTube. You just clickety clack. If you are on the Echo device, you just go say. I did not know that about Luciano. Or say, we got to step it up, millennials. We got to
Yeah.
step it up. And then we'll comment
We'll
all
say, yeah,
on that.
you're right. When you're right, you're right.
And there was a question from Doug. Do we do the show on Echo? We are on Echo. Yes, we are on the Echo device.
You
I think
say
I know what
open
that
back channel.
means.
Though
Yeah.
I've had a few buddies say like I do it, nothing works. So I think we're still working out some bugs. So if it's not working right now,
Mm,
we're still
let
working
us
on it.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know.
That's good
Please
feedback. We're gonna give that to the
keep
higher
us
ups.
posted. Yeah.
It's the Echo is struggling. You heard it. You heard it here first.
You
Echo
sure did.
is struggling.
Yeah,
All right. Well,
sure
now
did.
it is it is time for This Has Potential. This has
Hmm.
potential. We're looking at the news that has potential. So get on uppers. You can chime on in too. If there is a news story or a thing that we're missing out that you're like, hey, this has potential, you can say, hey, did you hear about Brittany's new book? This could be good. And we have heard about it. We talked about it yesterday.
Sure did.
Yeah.
Sure did. But yeah, God, I would love that. I'm just like, hey, you guys should cover this. Let us know what you're seeing. What looks good. Yeah, Doug, I'm sorry that it's not working. That's interesting. Well, we'll keep working on it. So this has potential. I would imagine, Jam, that you have some I have one thoughtful thing. I have one
Okay.
silly thing and one thoughtful thing. You want to start with silly and work our way to thoughtful?
You take the ring. You're in charge, Renee. You're
Okay.
in charge.
Would
You're
love
in
nothing
charge,
more.
girl.
Well, now listen, this first one is brought to you by our very own producer, Sarah. Sarah told me all about
Mhm.
this. Now, I am remiss to tell you that I did not watch Bridgerton. Did you watch Bridgerton on Netflix? It was the smash hit number one show
I
that everyone watched.
I think I watched the first 6 or 7 episodes. I didn't make it to the
Okay,
finale, but
fair,
I did get the
beyond
first
fair.
7 in. Yeah.
Um, but I feel like Sarah's got her thumb on the pulse of what everybody's watching. So here in Los Angeles, they are doing a virtual, not virtual, like a live, actual interactive experience. The Bridgerton experience here in LA, where you can go and basically have the experience that is happening in the show. So it's right here in Los Angeles. It's happening in a hotel that's like pretty close to Hollywood and Vine. So it's in the Hollywood area. And this is what they tell you. You can travel to Mayfair, London in the year 1813, interact with actors dressed in exquisite period costumes, and immerse yourself in an evening bringing the Regency era to life. They're going to play the soundtrack from Bridgerton. You're going to get to see I guess they had like aerial entertainment that happened in the show. That'll be reenacted, all for the low, low price, starting at $49. So I think I did not watch it, but I love these interactive experiences that are happening. I think it's so fun. I think we've all been stuck inside forever, and we're all looking for a fun excuse to get out. So if this is your jam, this is great. I love it. What a cool thing to ask people to go out. How do you feel?
Interesting. Is this when you said
Yeah,
virtual, do you mean like
yeah.
on my computer virtual or virtual
No,
reality?
I said virtual, and then I didn't mean it. I misspoke. So it is an interactive experience where you actually go. So
Oh,
it's an actual thing that
gosh.
you
I
go
was like,
to. Yeah.
okay, now
How
this
does
sounds
this
more
work?
interesting.
Yeah.
I was like,
Okay.
I don't want to be on my computer screen just am I just watching
No, no, no. Sorry.
Bridgerton?
This is a you can actually
That's
go. You're
technically
gonna
a
go to the
virtual
hotel. You're
experience.
gonna do it.
Okay. All
Um,
right.
and I'm curious, there doesn't seem to be a dress code on this, which I kind of wish that there was. I
People are
wish
gonna. You people are
Yeah,
gonna. They don't even. Do they need to
they're
mention
gonna
that,
cosplay it.
Renee?
They're gonna
People are
cosplay it.
gonna.
Yeah, yeah,
People are going to absolutely. They're gonna absolutely do it.
yeah,
And then, yeah. So would you go, Renee? Tickets if you. I just feel like Renee buy tickets now because every
yeah.
time you try to buy tickets, to something it's sold out.
I
It's
just think it's
sold
sold
out.
out. We heard what happened with the Dolly Parton mix. Still
And
recovering.
Super
Still
Bowl.
recovering. And Super Bowl.
And
And
they
Super
tried
Bowl.
that
Yes.
thing where they could tell you what your colors are. Well,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, I can't get into a thing around here. I went to a Harry Potter interactive quiz experience, and what was great
Oh.
is we were creating cocktails. So that was like wizardry create cocktails. So those are delicious. But I am not great at trivia, and so my sweet friend that I went with, and everybody had to put on your robe, your cape. So we all got to dress up, and I just drank the drinks, and then I drank one thing that you weren't supposed to drink.
Wait, what? Like a potion? Like, oh no, don't drink that.
That's food
Oh.
coloring. Oh, well, all right.
Now just looking around for things to drink. What can
It's
I
like,
drink?
well, I don't know any answers. I guess I'll just drink the props. So those interactive
Renee.
experiences are fun, but I am looking forward to the one that I am just like, oh my gosh, I know absolutely everything about this show. That hasn't happened just yet, but when one that I know of happens, I will be there. But I think it's cool,
So,
and I think
you'll be
yeah.
ready for the Marry Me interactive experience.
I sure
You
will.
will
I
be
loved
so
it.
ready.
I loved it. Yeah. You know what?
Marry
So
me, marry me, marry me, marry
just
me, marry
say
me.
yes, say yes, say yes. Yeah, these sort of appeal to me, but I think it has potential for people who love Bridgerton. I think this will be great. I think it's this has potential. Sarah, thank you so much for bringing this to my attention. Jam.
There you go. There you go.
I have one more.
We also
after
want to
you're done.
I want to welcome Julie to the stream as well. Welcome, Julie. We are doing This Has Potential. This has potential. Well, This Has Potential Wednesday. Wow, Sarah upgraded our title, so it's got the
We
W
love it.
alliteration.
Well, this
Jack
has
also joined.
potential.
This is great. This has potential. It's some good news. I think it's just some good news. I think so. All the killers of Ahmaud Arbery were found guilty of federal hate crimes just the other day. So as you remember, Ahmaud Arbery was pretty much hunted down by 3 white men. There was a lot of, you just never really know how these cases are going to go. I've seen them go many different ways. And so Greg Michael, Travis McMichael, and William R. Bryan, the 3 men, they were convicted, were found guilty of federal hate crimes. They did have and even when you look at the jury was, I believe, 8 white men, 3 black people, and 1 Hispanic as well. They have been shown, the prosecution showed that these folks had a history of racial social media posts, comments, text messages throughout the years, the months leading up to this. So there just was a pattern of behavior to show that this was a hate crime and that this was not just self-defense, as they had tried to defend, that they were like, he had tried to grab our gun, like they were hunting this kid down. It was not their job to do any of that. There was no self-defense. And it's just kind of nice to see an imperfect justice system actually work for especially folks of color, where it just historically hasn't. That's just the whole entire scenario just has feelings of a lynching attached to it. It just historically feels just like that. So to actually see some justice happen is
it's great.
It has its potential for change, I will say.
Yeah. Yes. I like this very much. They did a sort of report on it on the Daily, and they talked about, because you can't be in the courtroom, but they can talk about what happened in the courtroom. And they were talking about the lawyer's approaches. She didn't even have to call out how racist it was. She could just be like, these are the facts, and this is the behavior. You tell me. So she didn't even have to say the word and like, look at this social media post. Look at that. Look at that. Right. Like it was so evident that the jury was able to conclude it without being told directly, which is good. I agree with you. I think it does have potential.
Yes. And a PSA for serve your jury duty. I hear people, this is a PSA, like everybody do your jury duty. Like if the right people in the jury who weren't open-minded to sit and really hear it, it could have gone anyway. It is your civic duty, and you would hope that if something, we never know what could happen in our own lives, right? Where
Right.
heaven forbid we were, up on trial, or we wanted vindication for some justice for someone within our family. We would hope that the right folks would be up there sitting on that jury. So everyone always tries to get out of jury duty. No one, it's always inconvenient. It never comes at the right time. Like, do it honestly, go through, don't make up excuses. Like, it's never going to be at the right time. It is your civic duty, and it's a miracle. Like, it's not a miracle, it is a bit of a miracle, and a privilege that we have, a system where you're not just like thrown away because the king wants you to go away or something like that,
Right.
like, it's an imperfect system, but it's only as good as the people who uphold it. So it's right up there with voting. It is your civic duty. Sit on a jury, do your jury duty, do it.
I love that.
Don't
I
try to get
love
out of
that.
it.
Good. I love that. Yes. And Audra agrees. She says, really heartened to see this decision come down. Get on uppers. Get on uppers. We love you. We love you so much. You want to hear about some more potential?
I
Some more. This
do.
has potential. Rihanna has donated $15 million to help fight climate change. Rihanna, great work.
Mm.
Great work. So she's done it through her foundation, called the Clara Lionel Foundation, has donated to 18 organizations fighting climate change. And I think this has potential in a way. This was what story made me lose my mind about billionaires earlier this week? Is it were we going to
Oh,
the
that
moon?
was
Were we
it was
going?
my this has I think this is my, like, it was billionaires are thriving. They're gonna
Yeah.
potentially settle on the moon.
Yeah. I guess it's just the money is in the world to fix this. And so
Mm,
just would
mhm.
love to start to see the people who have the money to fix this start to give the money to fix this. And I don't love that the celebrities have to pave the way for it. These billionaires can look at their bank account. They can see, oh, I'm fine. I don't need any more. I could donate. But I like that Rihanna's setting a precedent of, "Hey, some money needs to go towards this. I have it. I guess I'll give it." Great. Yes.
Yeah.
Please keep doing that. If
50
you have the money to help, help.
Yeah, and, like, 50 million too, which means she's got a lot more millions where that came from. It was like 50 million, just like a drop in the bucket. It's probably even like a tax write-off. So, I mean, how much of it is really, I'm
Yeah.
not saying that as like a diss, but I'm just like to the point of like you have it to give it, especially for these billionaires. 50 million to be like
Sure.
absolutely nothing.
Sure.
Thank you, Rihanna. Like, and also, but you know why? She's
Mhm.
got a kid on the way. So she's thinking
Yeah.
about the
Yeah.
future. She's realizing it's
Right.
not just about her. She's thinking about the future. So
Which I
go
get.
off,
Which
Riri.
I
We
get.
thank you. We
Exactly.
thank you
So if
for
you
it.
also have millions to give, follow in Rihanna's footsteps. Let's get some help out there.
Jenny from the block, we're looking at you. Do more than just marry me, marry me, marry me. I'm gonna take you to church, church,
Okay.
church. I'm gonna take
Okay.
you to church,
Okay.
church,
Okay.
church. All
All right.
right, I got not a diss on your favoriteest movie, not a diss at all. Um, All right, so Sarah, I put a link in there. I'm not sure if you're able to share your screen, but this has some potential. So the U.S. Soccer Federation finally settled. The headline is U.S. Soccer Federation finally settles that shameful equal pay lawsuit for $24 million. So I don't know if you remember this, but the U.S. Soccer Federation and the U.S. Women's National Team, they finally settled their ongoing lawsuit over gender-based disparities. So the organization agreed to pay a total of $24 million. So it was
Okay.
pretty shameful that, like, the women's soccer team, they were winning more games, like they were winning World Cups, they would win. There was more revenue, it was generating even more revenue. People actually, it's the one sport that women just have more attention and eyes on than men, and yet their male counterparts were earning, they were earning a tiny fraction of what their male counterparts were earning. And that's because the two teams are paid based on different earning structures, and
Okay.
the women's deal has been, it's just been glaringly needing to be renegotiated for the longest time. And so now recently the success of the women's team has just been incredibly undeniable. Like, it's just been obvious that, like, well, these women are just absolutely crushing it. And so it led to this case here. So much, in fact, that at the 2019 World Cup in the finals in the Netherlands, chanting of equal pay, equal pay, equal pay, equal
Okay.
pay
I
was
love
just
that. Yeah.
erupting. Like, we just couldn't. And then Secret Deodorant took a full page ad in the New York Times calling out for the USSF to do the right thing and pay the female athletes fairly.
Great. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but it's been such a journey because even back in May, the judge had dismissed the suit, saying that the team had not provided enough evidence to support their claim. And the issue came because I guess they just had different pay structures, and they were like,
Right.
oh, the women, there's different bonus structures, and it just. It was making it hard for them to prove that there wasn't equal pay just because of the way that I guess the pay structure
Right.
had worked out. I think there was one point that the defense was trying to argue that they just weren't as athletic. They just weren't. They were like, oh well, they're not as, the women deserve to be paid less because they are physically inferior. That was like
Right.
part of the USSF's. That was part of their defense. That was part of their defense. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So they did win. They've reached a current settlement. I know they've reached it, but has potential. Look,
I get it. No, you're right.
We
The
had-
fact that it's even a headline is better than it was. Yes, agreed.
Because
Yes.
it took a long time to get here. Like, I mean, this took a long time to get here.
Yeah.
And so so the settlement is 22 million are going to go to the players to be distributed amongst them, with 2 million being put into a fund to benefit the players in their post-career goals, and each player will be able to apply for $50,000 from that fund. Megan Rapinoe had this to say. Megan Rapinoe, who you might remember is part of the women's National Women's Soccer League, just soccer legend. And she said, this is going to be one of those incredible moments that we look back on and say the game changed forever. U.S. soccer changed forever, and the landscape of soccer in this country and in the world changed forever because of this. So landmark moment, and right before Women's History Month, right before.
I'll take it. I will absolutely take it. That's great. This absolutely has potential. Okay. All right. I like it. It's difficult. Audra's right that it is difficult. She says, do these men hear the words that are coming out of their mouth?
No.
And it's difficult. It's difficult to hear, but it also tracks. Makes sense. But I'm glad that it's changing. Glad that it's changing. Thrilled to hear it. Thrilled to hear it. That's so good. Are those all your This Has Potentials?
Yeah, that's it. I'm calling it a day for now.
Okay, I'll call it a day. Little tuckered out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
that's as much news as you need for today. That's a lot. I want to end on a good note. I don't want to read my next one and then it turns out that it's not. I don't want to misunderstand the assignment, which I am prone to doing.
You've never misunderstood the assignment. You've never misunderstood the assignment. You were perfect.
I've gotten Nobody would notes tune back in behind the scenes.
You're killing it. The only reason that anyone is here is because you and the substance you bring to this show. Otherwise, no one would be here. They'd just be like, is she talking about balloon animals again? I'm out of here. Nope. Won't do it. I won't do it. You're the best thing that ever happened to any of us.
Tomorrow, young ladies. Save that talk for tomorrow. All right. Here we go. Look, it is time for Wildin' or Working It. Wildin' or Working It. Who is wildin'? Who is working it?
Can't wait to hear. I cannot wait to hear. I have one, and I don't understand it. So I need you to.
Can you kick us off? Can you kick us off? All right. So the game is, folks, Renee and I are going to recount some stories or situations, and you all chime in if this person or thing is wildin' or working it. You tell us.
Let us know. So, Jam, I genuinely need your help because it is the question of, sometimes we come at this, we're like, well, I have a very strong and
Sorry,
stable
didn't
opinion
mean to
about
leave
this.
as soon as you said, Jam, I need your help. And I had to turn my heat
No, and then you immediately, okay, no, I get it. They understand. And honestly, Get On Uppers, I need your, that would make sense. That would make sense. It would make sense. Because I think we're working on a logo for the show, and I would like to pitch that it's me going, and you're spinning chair. We're just like, he's left. I can't take it anymore.
He's already gone. Could take it. No more.
Take it anymore. So I'm going to read the headline, and hopefully you and the Get On Uppers can help me make sense of such a thing. It's Marvel based. Doctor Strange 2, Tom Cruise suits up as Iron Man in a jaw-dropping new video. I thought Iron Man was already spoken for. What's happening here?
He is. All right. So this actually brings me to actually one of my violin and working it in a different
sorry.
way.
Okay.
No, in a
Okay.
different way. No, in a different way. So
Okay.
here's what this actually is. So this isn't true. This is what we call a deep fake. Are you all familiar with deep fakes?
Oh, okay.
So essentially, a
Okay.
deep fake is when technology, like someone can like Photoshop. It's like a moving. It's just like it's like CGI. It's really good
Right.
at home CGI and even like
Got it.
imitate the voice, and everything about the person. So and anybody at this point right now could
Right.
be deep fake. Renee, you and I, we have our image out
It's
there.
not
We
me.
could be
It's not
deep
me.
fake.
Tugboat.
An
He's
entire
not here.
show saying
Yeah.
all kinds of things like. I loved Marry Me. It was the best movie ever. Give it all the Oscars. Like, if you hear that, that is not me. That someone
It's not
has
Jam. No.
absolutely deep faked
No.
me.
It's not Jam.
They're like,
It's
oh,
not
but then he
Jam.
did a share
I
voice. Give it all the Oscars. But they did the
There
share.
we
They
go.
did the
Yeah.
share. No,
It sounds
no,
like
no,
it.
no,
It sounds like it. I want to do mine. I love trivia. It's my favorite thing in the world. Please ask me the names of characters in various movie, TV shows, and films. I would love to tell you exactly who they are. It's me, Renee.
I feel like this was a note. I feel like this was you
No,
giving Sarah and I a trivia note
it's
live on
not.
the air.
It's not. It's
Is this
absolutely
another
not. No, no,
meeting?
no,
Is
no,
this
no, no,
another
no,
production meeting
no.
on air?
Certainly not. Certainly not. No, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. No, I think it's just common. All the get on uppers know that Renee's not good at trivia. That's it.
Wait, so this goes to so I want to tag team
Yeah.
this while and working it. So in this, so it's someone made a deep fake. If we can, so it's a deep fake. If we saw the image here, it's a deep fake of Tom Cruise. There's a rumor that he's going to be in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and the
Okay.
multiverse is the idea that there are different, in the same way that there are multiple Spider-Men, because all the different movies are in
Right.
different universes, right? They all exist in the same multiverse thread. And so years ago, Tom Cruise was going to be Iron Man. It just kept falling through, and didn't work out.
Got
So
it.
there's a rumor that he's going to be in the multiverse of madness. And so there might be a little cameo and he might
Okay.
be in it. And so a fan has
Right.
made this deep fake, and that is what this
Makes
whole
sense.
entire
Okay.
thing is.
Okay.
So
That makes perfect sense. Thank you.
my
So wait. Yes. Yeah.
yes,
Yes.
what were you gonna
You're gonna
say?
say exactly. I was going to say is deep fakes well and are working it, but that's probably exactly what you were gonna
That's
say, and you're gonna say
exactly
it
what
better. Yeah.
because I could even say, Sarah, there's one of, Luke Skywalker that we have as well, which was so the one on the
Oof,
one on
that
the
is.
left that you see is the one that The Mandalorian did, and then on the one
Yeah.
on the right is one that a fan did, and it was so good that they had the fan
Oof.
come in and do the Luke Skywalker, deep fake for the Boba Fett series because his was so
Mhm.
much better than the professionals who were hired to
Oh,
do it from voice
wow.
and everything.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
so my question, the Wall Street Journal put out an article not too long ago that said deep fake technology is now a threat to everyone. What do we do? So I
Mhm.
have a question. What do we think get on uppers? Deep fakes, like because they even had one during the election where they had like politicians deep fakes of politicians like
Mhm.
what do we think about deepfakes? Are these and Congress and is not keeping up with like there's no legal laws around
Mhm.
deepfakes? Like, what do we think about deepfakes? Are these again at home people who have the technology to make anyone do or say anything? What are we thinking? Deepfakes, are they wildin' or are they working it?
Yeah, no, this is straight up identity theft. This is no, absolutely not. That is, it couldn't be more
Mm.
Wylan. It couldn't be more Wylan.
Mhm.
It is that's that you have taken someone's identity and portrayed them as something else. You can't do that. She said with a stern tone. I love a joke. I love a joke. If you plaster it across, this is a deep fake. Wouldn't it be funny if? I love it. That's a good time. But I think it
Mhm.
is deeply, deeply harmful. I think it's dangerous. And at the very least, it makes people feel silly of just like,
Mhm.
no, I
Mhm.
saw, they said it. I saw a video. They said it. What's fun about that?
Yeah.
That's not fun. Don't do that
Well,
to people.
just to keep things interesting, Doug says that it's working it. It's working it.
Okay.
I do think that people are working the technology for sure.
Sure.
I think my
Yeah.
fear is it's already hard enough for us to agree on facts and reality as it
Yeah.
is. And I think I can just see some like, one of Putin's minions just in a basement and making some politician or the president say something that they absolutely didn't. Definitely scared of this sort of technology being in the
Yeah.
hands of like the wrong people, and
Yeah. Yeah.
it could even happen to just one of us. Like someone creates a video and we absolutely
Right.
did not say that. Like
Yeah.
I don't like this. Not a
I
fan.
will say because to look at that photo again, Sarah, that you just had. So the one on the right was the guy who just did it. So
Yeah,
the
the
one
one
on
on
the
the
left is Disney. The one on the right is
Yeah,
the
and the one on the
guy.
right looks better, like, you can
It's
even see it
incredible.
looks better.
Yeah.
It looks
Yeah.
just like him, and so, again, like, I don't think, what's his face? Who plays Luke Skywalker? Oh my gosh, the Star Wars fans are gonna come
I know.
after
So
me.
sorry.
Mark
So
Hamill.
sorry. So
Mark
sorry. There we
Hamill.
go.
Mark Hamill, calm down, please don't come to my house. Um, please
It
stop
was a deep
attacking me
fake.
on
It was a
Twitter.
deep fake. It was a deep fake.
It was a deep
We
fake.
were being deep
Yeah.
faked. Yeah.
See, this is gonna be a all new fake news. Welcome, Jay. We're playing Wildin' or Working It. Deep fakes. Are they wildin' or are they working it?
Yeah.
But this one on the right is I don't even think Mark Hamill was there on the set at all. And so it is, and the voice, they can even do the voice without the person.
That's
It's
bananas.
pretty
So I
fast.
think there
Yeah.
is like appreciation for skill. Like
Mhm.
when you get to that level of expert level of I'm very proud of you. This is an incredible skill, but dear God, use it for good. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think this opens up the conversation. We were talking about this yesterday with like social media and stuff, and it's just like we just need our laws to catch up with our technology. It's the wild,
Mhm.
wild west, and even Silicon Valley is like, we need some regulation, otherwise we're just gonna do whatever it is that we
Yeah.
want to do. Like it's
But this
we
doesn't
haven't.
strike me as difficult. Like we have identity theft solutions in place and consequences in
Uh-huh.
place.
Uh-huh.
So that just
Right.
applies to this. That's it. It's not, you don't have to
Mm,
recreate
mm,
anything. You don't have to go through
mm,
anything.
mm,
The
mhm.
exact same consequences for credit identity theft or IRS identity theft or whatever. When it comes to money, you apply the exact same thing to this. It's easy, I think.
Yep. Nope, nope, nope. Yep, 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 yep. I absolutely agree. So, that's all good there.
Yeah.
That's all good. All right.
Yeah.
Here is so we have you're right. And yeah, you're right. I guess maybe someone would have to sign away that like, yeah, it's okay for you to deep fake me.
I think there just has to be much like in advertising, right? And it's small and it's tiny and it's at the bottom. But when they say this has been reenacted by actors, is required on all commercials. So if you pause a commercial and you see it actually portrayed by actors of like, I can't believe this car deal came to me. It'll say it is required to say there at the bottom, actors are playing this. So I think you just have to have a watermark on that that says, oh
Mm,
no,
mhm.
this is a deep fake. So we have to label it properly. Audra agrees and then she's like, I think deep fakes are bad and terrible and a real problem. And there are so many things to worry, but I agree, Audra, there's so many things. Now we got to add this to the list of, oh, I can't trust anything I see. It's
Mhm. Yep, yep,
terrifying.
yep.
It's very scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally fine, totally fine. Listen, it's gotta be for someone, and it doesn't have to be for everybody. Yep. So, yep. All right. So I have another one here for us. And so we talk about her more than we should, but it's because she just is so fascinating, and I think this will be so interesting because I'll be interested to see I where you lie on this one, Renee, and the Get on Uppers, because you've watched it. So did you watch and Just Like That? Do we have anybody Get on Uppers who
Mhm.
watched? Did you watch Just Like That? You did.
I did. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
You're
I'm
like, I'm not
sorry.
proud of it. I
No,
did.
but yes,
And
of
here's
course
the
I did.
thing.
And the
I actually
documentary to accompany it.
I I haven't seen a single episode, and I actually am glad that it exists. I'm glad that it exists. I'm glad that they're revisiting New York. I think that it's I didn't really watch the other Sex in the City, but I'm interested in this, and one day I might get around to watching it. But Megan McCain has things to say about this.
Okay.
And so
All
I
right.
want to know, do you think Megan McCain is wild and working it? When it comes to, and Just Like That is the sort of sequel to Sex in the City. It's them, 20 years later. So she attacked it as being a misguided woke reboot of Sex in the City. Megan McCain had said that it's a clumsy attempt to reformat the show into woke and puritanical times we are living in. She's like, of course, queer. Like she's like, this included the lead character Carrie, being on a podcast with someone who is, as she said, of course, queer and non-binary, because it's so boring and unevolved to be a straight white woman. She goes on to say that the supporting cast exhibits commendable racial and identity diversity, but we don't learn much about their characters. It's almost as if they were written into the script to satisfy the PC censors. And she goes on to say, it is wokeness superficially shoved down your throat to make a point about wealthy white liberal women evolving into the political climate of 2021. Is Megan McCain, you've seen it, so I don't know, or do you think Megan McCain is wildin' or working it in terms of
I
her
can't tell what
opinions?
she's suggesting. Is she saying they shouldn't be in it at all? Or is she saying they should have a deeper character development? If it's the latter, sure, yes, I agree. If it's the former, I think I gotta take away your mouth. No more speaking for you.
Yeah, and Audra, yeah, I thought that was such a great point. And this was and she didn't just tweet this. This was in an she wrote a review of this. And
Right.
Audra points out she wrote woke and puritanical. I thought that was just so funny because it's like,
Yeah.
girl, that doesn't
You don't know what
suddenly
you're doing. Yeah.
woke liberals are puritanical? I don't understand. I
Yeah.
thought that was your side was taking care of that part. I
Yeah.
thought, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then Audra has a good point. She was so close to making a decent point about poorly done writing for diverse casts, and then
Right.
kind of
And
just
then I
weaponizing
can't tell what
these.
she's saying. I just can't tell what she's saying. Yeah. I don't think it's good.
So I think that you're going on. I don't think it's good.
I don't think it's good.
Sounds like you think that maybe she's wilding then.
Yeah.
She's wilding.
Absolutely. And she it's not. It is not well done. There has been article after article after article that the writers, first off, most of the writers are over 50. So I think there's some consulting that probably could have been had to help them out a bit. But there's been article of we heard your notes, we understand. So I guess we'll have to see what season 2 is. But to Megan McCain's point, I cannot tell what you're saying, and so you're wilding. I don't know what you're saying. Figure out what you're trying to say and then talk.
In one of her comments, it seems like she's she's feeling like there's no one like me on TV. She's it's so boring to be an uninvolved straight white woman. It just is so interesting of she's feeling like this show is an attack on her persona and her personage. I think there should be non-binary people on TV. And one of the actresses, three of the actresses got together on Andy Cohen's show, and Andy Cohen's friends with Megan McCain. So of course he asked what were their thoughts about it. And one of the actresses said she was said, Lisa Todd Wexley, who's on the show, said, what's too much? Maybe in your living room, or when because she's making it seem like, it's too PC and it's too much. She's like, what does that mean? What's too much? Maybe in your living room or where you step outside, it looks the same as inside, and you go to the grocery store and it's the same. Maybe it's too much for you, but for these characters in New York City, it's not. And it seems to me, again, I've not seen the show, but it seems like this is a course correction. It would be the same thing if they were to redo Friends. Can't just have 6 white people talking to 6 white people again. You just can't. You can't do it. Not in New York that I saw when I was in New York. And so it's sort of course correcting. And to your point, I think these shows do need to have do a show in Wyoming. Or Doug, are you saying that's Wyoming?
Possibly. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
My cousin lives in Wyoming. I think he's the only black person there, though. God bless him. God bless him. But I do think that I'm a big fan of diverse writers' rooms. I think some of the best
Mhm.
television that has tackled these conversations have, like, The Watchmen on HBO. So great. Like, it was the guy who did Lost. He does not know a lot about, sort of America's sort of racist history, but he had a
Mhm.
diverse writers room, and they had amazing conversations, and it
Right.
produced The Watchmen. It was so brilliant. The White Lotus was a show that I thought was really great, but could have used a writers room. There were certain things where I was like, this seems like a very specific viewpoint about these really heavy conversations around race.
Right.
Nothing wrong with those. Get some people in the room, have a
Get them there. Just
conversation.
exactly. Or at the very least, get a sensitivity passed. At the very least. That's all we ask. That's all. Just cross check your work a little. That's all. Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. So it sounds like jury's in. Megan McCain is wildin'. All
Is
right.
smiling. Yeah.
This next one, and I just said Megan McCain is wildin', and our producer Sarah just typed in our private chat for sure.
Uh-huh.
For sure. Big welcome to Ronnie Anderson, and Doug is back. Maybe Doug just switched devices, I think. That's what I think
Yeah.
happened. Yeah.
Great.
Back.
We'd love to see
Ronnie
you.
Anderson from Utah here. So who is wilding in this situation? So Wendy Williams' show is officially over. Her
Mm,
show is officially over. After
okay.
13 seasons of Hot Topics, the Wendy Williams show is coming to an end. As we talked about on the show, she's been going to, she got frozen out of her accounts from Wells Fargo.
Right. Right.
She's having some, health issues. Her husband has left her. It's just been a wild time for Wendy Williams. Sherry Shepherd is going to be stepping in that time slot. She was guest filling in, and she got the slot, and it's going to be called Sherry in the fall. Sherry Shepherd, comedian. She was on The View. She's been
Mm,
on. She's on 30 Rock. She's hilarious.
she's great. She's so
Um,
funny. Yeah.
but Sherry Shepherd is stepping into Wendy Williams' slot. Is Sherry
Mhm.
Shepherd wilding, or is she working it, or are they? Yeah, we'll start there. We'll
Yeah.
start
I
there. Oh, and
think
she's been in the Newlywed Game, as Doug pointed out too. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Doug. Great
S
point.
What
Great
do we
point.
think? Is
I
she
feel
working
like
it or
the
wilding?
network is wildin'.
Oh, go
Cancel the
on. Tell me more.
show and then give Sherry her own show. Don't do a
Well,
replacement.
they kind of are. The show's gonna be called
Okay.
Sherry. It's not gonna be called the Wendy Williams Show.
I
It's
get
gonna
that.
be called
I
it's
get that.
Sherry. She's
I
taking
get
her
that.
spot.
Right. But the fact that she like guest spot, like I think it just would have been, I think. I think we have a lot of mental illness happening, a lot.
Mhm.
And you gotta be
Mhm.
same thing's going on with Kanye right now, is that boy, it's
Mhm.
entertaining, but we're not taking care of our people. So I think that there a little more care needs to be done to keep this out of the headlines and get them the help they need, which I know is very, very difficult. And I know especially when you're going through mental illness, it's difficult to accept help. But I would have loved for them to just cancel the show and then separately bring a Sherry show in
Well,
because
they're
it
probably gonna
looks
do a
like
different set. They're probably gonna
okay.
do a different set
Okay.
at least, a
Okay.
redesign.
Okay.
I think I'm
Here's
with
what I
Doug.
can say
I think
assuredly.
yes.
Sherry
Yes.
is working it. I think
Okay,
Sherry's working
yes.
it.
Go
Okay,
gosh, Sherry. I will say I do think I'm with you, Doug. Sherry Shepherd is working it. The network might be a little bit wildin', but I think they're working the moment. Like Wendy Williams is.
Mhm.
Here's the thing that I think is so struggling about it. Yes, hi Ronnie Anderson,
Hi,
saying hello to
Ronnie.
us. Hello, hello. What do you think? Is Sherry Shepherd wildin' or working it in the show? Let us know.
Let
Um,
us know.
I do think that, like, it's so interesting because Wendy Williams has been so mean for so long, and I just think, like, God doesn't like ugly, as a friend of mine once said recently. So I just
Yeah.
think you gotta, it's
Yeah.
all this stuff is so sad. I wouldn't wish it on anybody, but it's also
Yeah.
like, yeah, now she's in the headline. Now people are talking about her, and it's like,
Right.
you know,
Oops.
but you wish you were
Whoops.
maybe a
Yeah.
little bit nicer to people. As Will Smith's grandma said, um, something about like be nice to the people on the way up because you might see them on the way down.
Yes. It is I have seen that over and over and over. I am the same as
Mm.
well, no, God, Renee immediately making that about you. I'm so sorry. But as somebody who was a front desk person 3 years ago
Mhm.
and is now
Mhm.
casting the shows, I have a very long memory. And a lot of people are just like,
Ah.
I hear you're looking for a host." Mhm.
Uh-huh.
You
See?
don't
It's
forget. You don't. And then when I'm
kindness
on
and
my way back down,
decency.
those hosts will be like, they'll say hi to me.
No,
So it
not
comes back around. Yeah.
even, not
Yeah.
even. You're still being kind about it. I'm absolutely 100% sure. So, yeah,
But yeah, just be kind.
I
Kind.
do think that Sherry Shepherd's opening line for her show, for her first episode, has to be something to the effect of like, "Oh, it's been a long journey here on this flat Earth." Wink, wink. Like, because she did make that comment about she's like, "I was taking a long walk on this flat Earth of ours," and then move on. She has to acknowledge
That's
that I love Sherry Shepherd, and I don't have to
yeah.
agree with that
Yeah.
everything about everybody, but I think that's the one thing about Sherry Shepherd is that she does, at least maybe she's changed.
She's
Maybe
funny. She's
someone
funny.
took her
Yeah.
on a trip around the planet, or she thinks the Earth is flat, which she's a flat earther. But we all have our
Okay.
thoughts and theories about
Okay.
things, you know?
Okay. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. How do you feel about this, Jam? Who do you think is Wyland or working it in this? So I guess we've presented three characters: the network, Wendy Williams, and Sherry Shepherd
I definitely
for
think Wendy
each one.
Williams is wildin'. I feel like Wendy Williams has always been wildin' her entire
Yeah.
life. I think she was born wildin'. But that's
Yep.
okay. Some people, we need our wild cards in the
We love
mix.
it.
Sherry Shepherd's wildin', and I think no, she's working it. She's working it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The network is working the moment. I mean, their
Okay.
networks are always wildin'. They're trying to make a
Yeah.
cash grab.
That's true.
So
That's true.
I'm right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
We
right
just need
there.
the money.
You
That's
just need the
great.
money.
These are so good. These are so good Wylands.
Yeah. Well, Renee, I do think it is time for us to switch gears to our Wednesday wisdom and what are you watching? And Doug, I agree, Stray Shepherd, so good on the Newlywed Show. Also amazing on 30 Rock. One of my favorite episodes of 30 Rock is when it's just her, it's
Yeah.
her show, kind of a
That's so
Bravo
good.
style
hmm
housewives.
hmm
What is it? The King of Queen of Jordan or something?
Yeah. I
And
think so.
it's just a show all about her, and I think it's one of the best
She's
episodes of
so
30 Rock.
funny.
So
So funny.
so
Yep.
good. So good. Yeah.
Yep. 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 And Audra agrees that Wendy's Wyland. Wyland, a
Yeah.
little problematic. Yep.
Well,
Okay.
problematic. I think it's time. I think
Okay.
it's and I think it's yes, Audrey's is the Queen of Jordan. Yes. I think it's time for, in these times, Wendy Williams to just take a break. I'm only laughing because during the pandemic, she was like recording her show from at home and
Oh boy.
she was not doing well.
You're in some
It
trouble.
would just be
Okay.
her kind of like not even as nice of a setup as you and I have, honestly. It was
Huh.
like a camera kind of far away.
Oh,
It was like
sweetheart.
and she would
Okay.
just be like, all right, you know what? I'm just gonna eat this chicken leg. I'm gonna eat this chicken leg. Nom nom nom. Everyone's like, I thought she was vegan. She's like, yeah, I'm just like, oh, this turkey leg, it's so good. Nom 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 nom. They just were like
Huh.
letting the camera roll
Okay.
live. And then
Yeah.
also someone needed to change the batteries in her smoke detector. It kept beeping
Oh
every
no.
like
Oh no.
7 minutes. Like, where is
No.
her like it
Yeah.
beep
Who's
as she's
helping?
like it's like early in the pandemic. So I guess everyone
Yeah.
was kind of wilding.
Yeah.
But it's just like woof. I knew then things were not well. And then she would be
Not
like,
going
"You guys,
great.
y'all want to see my cats? We're gonna bring my cats. They always have to come on the camera. Let's get my cats. Come on, kitty. Come on." Oh, cool. They're trying to be shy. They're trying to be shy. So then it's like 10 minutes of her trying to get her cat on camera. And
Yeah.
they're just trying to
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
miss
Yeah.
those
Okay.
days.
Boy, because it's so interesting to like now talk because people are starting to talk about like what a panic it was when they were just like, oh, we can't come into the studio anymore. So they were like sending out all these people to various houses to like create studios and create things. So that sounds like a refusal. Maybe she wouldn't let him in. And they were like,
Oh,
okay,
maybe. All
okay.
right,
But I
well,
don't
we're
know.
gonna
Yeah. Or
let
maybe
you
she didn't get
figure
the
it out.
option. Who knows?
Can we at
Who
least
knows? Yeah.
change the batteries in your smoke detector? I don't know.
Right.
I don't think. And look,
Yeah.
even Doug says I don't think I can get my cat on camera even when I wanted to. I do have coworkers who their cat will just kind of in the middle of a meeting just
Yeah.
walk
That's
by,
very cute.
step on
That's
their
cute.
keyboard.
Yeah.
Sometimes they definitely do that. Welcome to Catherine and Theodore. You're here for our last segment here on Getting Up, Wednesday Wisdom. And what are you watching? Renee, what is your
Yes.
Wednesday Wisdom?
Wednesday Wisdom, what are you watching? Honestly, Jim, I don't mean to outsource this, but I'm looking for something and I know that you have it. I am having a little bit of trouble towing the line between helping and not exhausting. And I keep swinging the pendulum too far in both directions. And I think your 85% could really come into the mix here. But I mean, I need wisdom of because I either am over helping someone or I'm being selfish. And I can't seem to thread that needle right now. And I'm having a really hard time. So I will openly accept wisdom on God, and then maybe that is just be open to failure and be open to making mistakes and be open to apologizing when you're like, oh, I swung the pendulum too far. That was selfish. I'm sorry. I'm having some trouble. How can I inch my way back to now finding the middle of the road? I'm gonna keep getting myself into trouble, either over helping or being selfish.
Okay. Was that a
Yeah.
snort? What's
Yeah.
happening?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Well, now Renee does also impressions of
Yeah. Thank
animals. So
you.
we're taking
Animals.
requests.
Sure.
And look, Audra's rewatching Community, needing that comfort. Oh, I'm so curious,
Love it.
Audra, does it hold up? Comedy is so hard sometimes. It's in that moment. Chevy
Yeah.
Chase, I'm so curious, does Community hold up? And look, Audra says that she's also having the same troubles. And Audra also has some Wednesday wisdom. When you go through all of the hard times, you'll get through this one. The only way out is through. That's one thing that I always think about. The only way out is through any of the hard times. Like you're in it. And then Doug's been watching Unsolved Mysteries on Netflix. Netflix is a new network that
That's what you call it. That's what you call it.
I will watch my Netflix or
Yeah.
Netflix as adults
Yeah.
will say.
Yeah.
I don't
Audra
let me
coming
see.
in with this advice. I love it so much. Is that it is tricky. That selfish often looks like a boundary, and how do you sort of revise
Boundaries.
your relationship with that? Yeah.
Boundaries.
Yes.
Boundaries. Do
Yes.
the
Yes. Yes.
boundaries
Yes. Yes.
dance.
Yes.
Boundaries dance.
Yes.
No, Doug, you said it perfectly. I pronounced it wrong. You said Netflix perfectly. It was me. Said Netflix
Yeah.
because I am a little baby.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me see if mine will help you out. So I have a few. So I was listening to Michelle Obama this morning on Oprah, and she was talking about like going high and going low. And she's like, that whole entire when they go high, when they wait, no, who goes low? When they go low, you go high. And she's like, it takes longer and it's harder, but you have to look at what is your purpose. So when you look at what your purpose in life and let that be the thing that really drives you, and then you don't really have time to go down low, and it'll take more work, it'll take more effort. But if you just really take some moments and some times to really look at what your purpose is, and it kind of made me think of this as well, that sometimes I think like, oh, I can't do this, or I'm too tired, or I'm too this. Whether you say you can or you can't, you're right. Like whatever you
Hmm.
tell your mind, you're absolutely right. If you're like, I can't do this, then you're right. If I can do this, you are also right. Janet Jackson had this video of this kid who couldn't climb up this thing, and he kept failing, and the dad made him do this visualization exercise of him completing it and mentally seeing that he can complete it and saying, I am unstoppable, and then what did he do? He did it. He
Look at
absolutely
that.
absolutely did it. And I think
Look at that.
sometimes too, this is the last thing, there's a lot of wisdoms in here, and I'm not picking a lane. And that brings me to my next thing. Stay in your lane. Sometimes or run your race, walk your walk. Like stop comparing yourself to other people, what it is that they're doing. You have to just walk what it is that you are doing. So I think that all goes back to, if you know your purpose, then you're able to know what your boundaries are. You're able to also know what it is that you can do. Sometimes you are going to stretch yourself, and it's got to be a little uncomfortable. But that's where growth comes from. That's where, when you see the great people who have accomplished really great things, it wasn't easy, right? The people that we've talked about in Black History Month had to overcome adversity, and they had to have the right mindset to get there. And it came because they knew what their purpose was. So if you just take some time and say, what is it? What is my purpose? What is my driving towards? What's the goal? What's the dream? And you have that as your North Star, it'll help you when you go through those troubling seas. But you just stay on your course, and you stay on your course.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And then pivoting to what are you watching? I watched all of Euphoria. I love it so much. And then I started watching Love is Blind. And then I can't do reality TV show, but I'm going to try because everybody's talking about it and I want to know what they're talking about.
Wow, I don't think I can. You are my thumb, but I'm not going off the cliff with you on that one. Producer Sarah recommends the Japan one. What am I watching? I just started watching. It's the 4-part. We got to talk about Bill Cosby documentary. I watched the first part last night. Really, at first I was like, "Is this what I want to watch during Black History Month?" And I will say again, Bill Cosby is Black history, and it's very complicated, the story, because he has done so much good for Black people, Black community, civil rights in his way of navigating. He wasn't out there on the picket lines or whatnot, but it's just so fascinating. He was, on that show I Spy, and it was the first time like a Black character was, serious cop and being taken seriously and somewhat of like a sex symbol in some ways, which is weird to think about Bill Cosby that way. But it's just interesting, like the ceilings he cracked. But then I think sometimes I'm like, well, someone else would have came along and cracked that glass ceiling and done that work as well, and not done the terrible things that he also did. So very complicated, but I am learning more about Black history and Black media through watching it. So it's challenging, but again, I'm not a lammy lamb. We are strong people. I can take on these difficult things, so that way it empowers me to do the work when be an ally and step up for the right things and fight for the right causes. We have a lot of privilege living here in America, and with great privilege comes great responsibility.
Spider-Man said it best. We love it. We love it
well,
so
actually,
much.
Renee, Uncle Ben said it best. It was Uncle Ben.
Uncle Ben said it best. Uncle Ben said it best. Got it. I got it. We got it. Well, we got all of our whiling. We got all of our watching. We got all of our wisdom.
Yeah, we did it. All right. Well, tomorrow is Thursday, Renee, so we're going to get on out of here. But here's what's coming up tomorrow, an action-packed Thursday for y'all coming tomorrow. It's Thirsty Thursday, so we're going to talk about what we're thirsting for that's coming up. And we have our celebrity birthday quiz as well. It's going to be a freaky Thursday because Renee and I are switching spots tomorrow. I'm taking over the accidental thirst traps, and Renee is taking over our Throwback Thursday on Shirley Chisholm tomorrow with, I think, a Shirley Chisholm quiz, if I'm not correct.
Let's see what happens. Okay. Let's see what happens.
Even Renee's like, we're going to stay tuned.
I don't know. Let's see. I don't know.
Okay. All right. We're also going to play this or that. We're going to give you some situations or scenarios, and it's not would you rather, it's this or that. And then we also have our Thankful Thursday. So that's what's coming up tomorrow for Thursday.
So exciting. And there is more where you are right now. Up next on Backchannel, we have Anthony Davis, followed by your pal Hal, and we'll be ending the day with Mario Smith. So much good Backchannel content for you today. Can't wait. Can't wait.
Good. Well, and don't forget, you can leave a review by going to www.backchannel.tv. Hit that leave a review button. Send us your thoughts. We can't wait to hear what you have to say about the show. And thanks for watching. I'm James Arthur M.
And I'm Renee Colbert. And you just
got on up.
Hi, everybody.
Marry me, marry me, marry me.